Yo.
Hello.
Let's see. Test, test, test. We're like, we weren't this close up before.
No, we
we've got
weren't.
some things to work on
Yeah,
here.
this camera's very close to my face.
We got some kinks to work out still from the move.
Well, because I usually sat like more like this. Is this right?
Yeah. Anyway, we're about to get started. However, we were waiting on food. We were gonna start, and then when the food got here, but the food is like
Here.
Yeah, I'm gonna close that toilet. Don't worry.
Oh, cool.
Food is here. So I'm so sorry guys that I hit start. I thought we were gonna have a good like 10 minutes, but I couldn't find the cameras. So hold that thought. Go watch some TV, and we'll be right back.
Oh, thank you for the subscription,
dude. Yeah, thank you for the subscription. HeatRL.
I'm eating too.
I don't want to mix his real name. Just doxing everyone left and right. You'll be fine. Leave us with Berto. No, Berto also ordered food. So
Yeah, it's ramen.
I'm gonna set a timer, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. I know. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's embarrassing because we just started, but
I'm not embarrassed at all.
I'm a little bit embarrassed. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Apologies. I know, dude. Trust me. I know.
Oh, now everybody's hungry. Oh. 16 months and a 15-minute.
That's how it goes. All right, we're back.
I was already back. I just didn't know how to
I already started
change
my
all
own
the settings.
podcast during the wait.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, well, it do be like that sometimes. All right.
Where'd they eat?
He RL has a full studio album coming out. Let's change the subject.
Actually?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
He has an EP out. It's really good.
Nice. Wait, what did we miss? Was everybody chatting amongst themselves?
All right, let's see. Oh, kind of, yeah. Well, if we gift enough subs, old mukbang. Yeah, if you gift enough subs, we'll do anything.
Not anything.
Not anything.
Don't
take it right back.
give people the wrong idea.
Yeah.
It says starting now, but where start?
Soon. It's been 2 weeks.
And that's where I came back and typed that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Anything. All right, let's close this.
No, not anything.
Sable's watching Pretty Little Liars. I can see it on my...
Oh, you can literally see... Oh, you can pause your TV.
I can turn it off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like all the lights or whatever. All right, I'm gonna leave that open. Okay, I just need our news stuff up, and we can and we can get started. All right, guys. Once again, I'm sorry for the delay. You know, planning things is hard.
Yeah.
All right, streaming, recording. Let's get going. Let's see. I gotta hit this button. Boom. Actually, tell me.
I hadn't heard it in so long. I forgot what it was.
Welcome to News from the Phantom Zone, where we bring you some of what happened this last week or these last 3 weeks in comic book movie world. Sorry, I just had dinner, so I'm like...
I ate spicy ramen, so everything's open right now.
We're going to be like that for a
All
minute.
my holes are open.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All your holes.
I mean, they're not closed, so...
Anyway. We look like we're in two completely different climates, you and me.
Yeah.
You're like all bundled up. Anyway, my name's Arnaldo. I'm your host. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. This episode's kind of horny.
It's not.
Says Philly. Anyway, you guys, you know what we're doing here. Let's get going. We got some details from James Cameron's Avatar 3. This is 3, right?
This is 3.
Mm-hmm. Called Fire and Ash. The movie is going to be about 3 hours long. The villain are a fire clan, if you couldn't tell. Remember, we already met a water clan.
So the Fire Nation's going to attack.
And get this. Wind traders will appear.
What?
Wind traders, who are a nomadic tribe that travel through the air.
So we have water, earth, air, fire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then everything changed when James Cameron attacked.
I'm fine with this, honestly. Like, I don't think the Avatar movies are like the best thing ever, but like I think they're enjoyable for what they are.
Okay, but at what point is this too similar? Because the whole Avatar the first one and Avatar the Last Airbender had absolutely nothing in common.
You're right. The first one just had a lot more in common with other stories that have already been told.
And then now it's slowly like gaining way too many similarities.
I'm curious, like, do they have fire powers or do they live in fire?
Right, because
or
the last one's just
are they
lived in
red
water.
Na'vi? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, about 3 hours long. That's par for the course with James Cameron movies. Honestly,
I thought the second one was pretty good, but like I also don't love these at all.
I like the second one a lot more than I like the first one.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch it again. Are you gonna rewatch it?
I'll rewatch it before this comes out. I'll rewatch both of them before this one comes out, most likely.
Remember that middle part that started setting up like every other sequel, and it was very BVS when he meets the Flash, and he's like, I'm having a dream about the future, and like more stuff's gonna happen, and then
you have to save Lois,
something like that, and then like it fucking ends abruptly.
I came Lois is the key or something.
Yeah, I came back from the bathroom, and they're like, "All right, let's go back to our regular Avatar story," and it's just like, what the hell was that? BVS gets a lot of shit for it because it's like not.
It also
really
didn't amount to anything.
Right. Well, I mean, like obviously in hindsight's 2020, but like,
right.
I don't know. It just.
What was she the key for?
Did you ever not read the details for how the story was gonna end?
I feel like I did a long time ago, and just
Lois
wasn't the nightmare
killed.
stuff supposed to be real?
Yes,
or like the actual future.
That's the future after Lois gets killed, and Superman has absolutely nothing to live for anymore, and he goes rogue.
Okay, so they
needed to go back in time to save Lois, and if they save Lois, then the course of events will happen differently.
But Lois never died.
Well, she would have died in like part 2, I think.
Oh.
And then there would be some time traveling. It was actually going to be kind of similar to Endgame.
And we still wouldn't have had a solo Batman movie.
Well, the solo Batman movie was going to be part of all of these. But then that eventually got rewritten into
the Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
That you hate and I thought was pretty good. And everybody else loves.
Yeah. That's not true. I'm seeing a lot more discourse about it now. But
I'm seeing people just upset that they have to wait.
I think a lot of people are like, really? Like, they're kind of over it.
I think there's some confirmation bias there.
I don't know if you know this, but there are millions of people, and they all have...
Yeah, and a lot of them like The Amazing Spider-Man, too.
Wow. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of Batman, the Arkham Batman lives. He's alive.
Oh, wow. We can make another Arkham game.
Yeah. Is that what's going on here?
Is that why they did it?
I don't know. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Can you explain it to me? Because so the end of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which is a video game.
Ending just came out like 2 days ago.
So it's like a season thing.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a like a campaign or anything like that.
I mean, there's a campaign. It's just each
season
added more stuff to it.
Oh, okay.
It's a live service game, which is like when you buy the game once and they additionally they'll continue adding content to it, usually for free. The issue is people didn't keep playing this game, so they had to fast track the story, and this was the last content update they were doing for it.
Okay.
So after 1 year, there's no more support for the game.
Okay, so like no more downloadables or anything like that?
No. You could probably get the game for like $5 on sale now.
Interesting. Have you played it?
Yeah, I got it when it came out.
Oh, was it good?
I thought it was better than people gave it credit for.
Oh, okay, cool. So when this game was coming out, there was another Batman game, Gotham Knights, coming out at the same time.
I think that one came out a little bit earlier, but yeah, people kind of didn't like that one either.
It was around the same time.
Yeah. That one's not in the Arkham universe.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of confusion about which one is and is not in the Arkham universe, because this one, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, features the entire Justice League and not just Batman.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like, well, that seems like it's its own thing. Meanwhile, our Gotham Knights had all of the Batman,
the Bat family, and Batman's like dead.
Batman's dead, so it's like, oh, that's the Arkham one. It was like, no, actually, that's not the Arkham one.
That one is its own thing, and the Arkham one is this one. But then they killed Batman in the Suicide Squad game, and people were pissed off about that. And now they brought him back, and people are pissed off about that.
Wait, so Batman was in the Suicide Squad game?
Yes.
This doesn't make sense, though, because I thought the reveal is the Arkham specific Batman, because Arkham Batman dies at the end of Arkham Knight.
He does not.
What?
Yeah, he like faked his death and became something else. They even show it at the end where it's like, oh, Batman's not around anymore, but now there's this. He was using like fear gas to like scare people.
Is this a post-credit scene I didn't watch?
Yeah, probably.
What the Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've been under. No way. Are you? Yeah. And this happened back in like 2012 or whatever.
I think it was like
2015,
2014 or 15.
Whenever Arkham Knight came out.
It was in the Arkham Knight game. Yeah.
So this whole time I've thought Arkham Batman dies at the end of the game. That's not true.
Not true.
God fucking damn it, bro. He fakes his death and becomes Nightwing. Why does he become Nightwing?
Not Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing's Nightwing. Nightwing's in that game.
Nightwing's already a character. He becomes something though.
Oh.
And yeah, in the Suicide Squad game, there's a whole museum to Batman and like his whole story. It even talks a little bit about what happens after Arkham Knight.
Okay, so this story that we're talking about right now, what happened in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, is only a reveal for something that happened in Suicide Squad months ago?
Yeah.
This isn't a reveal for something that happened a decade ago like I was under the impression.
No.
Motherfucker.
So,
okay, this is...
So in the main story of the Suicide Squad game, all the Justice League members get brainwashed by Brainiac. Mm-hmm. And the Suicide Squad, has to stop them. they end up killing Batman, but I guess now we find out that that wasn't actually Batman.
Oh.
But, and I'm not going to worry about spoilers since literally nobody played this game. But, yeah, at the end of it all, you find out that all the Justice League members were clones except for Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman is the only Justice League member that's dead at the end of all this. Which is kind of fucked up.
So so everyone's fine except for Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Wow.
So the Arkham universe can go on without Wonder Woman.
But the Arkham universe hasn't been anything except for like comic books, right?
It's literally only been the Batman games.
And like, well, there's
and
comics and like a novel, I think.
I don't know if they're like canon
To Arkham, right?
unless the games choose to contradict it, then it will become non-canon. That's usually how stuff like that works.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so yeah, Wonder Woman was the only member who didn't get taken, and then she gets like actually killed. All the other members were taken and got cloned, and you killed the clones.
All right, well, this isn't as news breaking as I thought it was then. So let's move on.
It is in the gaming world.
Okay. Okay, but then my point is, it was just like, hey, this solo, like this single game has a twist ending. That's not news. You know what I mean? Like, I thought this was undoing 10 years of lore.
No, the real news is how pissed off everybody is.
Exactly. This was anyway. How the Russos hired Stephen McFeely. So, if you don't know, so Stephen McFeely is one of the two writers who have been paired or partnered with the Russo brothers throughout their entire Marvel
I think McFeely
career.
was just kind of like throughout the whole MCU.
So Marcus, his screenwriting partner, who is not involved.
Oh, okay.
It's something, I forget his first name. Because they were something we called them Marcus and McFeely, something Marcus and Stephen McFeely.
Okay.
Anyway, they were screenwriting partners through Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Avengers, Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Right? All the best movies. And with the Russos, right?
Yeah.
Stephen McFeely is the one returning for Avengers 4 and 5. Sorry, Avengers 5 and 6. I always, in my head, I put Infinity War and Endgame together.
As one. Yeah.
So I always say 4 and 5. Avengers 5 and 6, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. So how, this was the news, is how they convinced him to come back. They call him on the phone, and they propose that he write for them for Avengers 5 and 6, saying that they were like offered the gig, but they don't have an angle. They don't know how to.
They're not sure where to go with it. Yeah,
where to go with it. McFeely says, end quote, "Fuck you, absolutely not," and hangs up the phone. And then apparently called him back the next morning.
Was he like, oh wait, never mind?
He's like, I guess like in the dead of night something came to him. and the Russo said, we ended up stumbling upon an idea that activated all of us.
Activated.
So clearly all of these movies were quite like monumentous for them all. It's probably a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Years of the pressures of writing some of the biggest movies ever made. And so
that paycheck though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's probably incredible.
When they dump truck a shitload of cash in your front yard, what are you going to do?
You're like, you know what? I guess I can come up with something.
But it sounds like, he really didn't want to do this until he came up with a good idea.
Right.
And that makes me feel good. That gives me a lot of confidence in this, because if these guys who have the best track record are really excited about an idea, and if it was the idea that brought them into it instead of the other way around, which this could all be made up to be fair, then I've got a little bit more faith in it. Not that I didn't before.
Yeah, I have faith in it. I still don't know where they're going with all this. Like just the MCU as a whole. Like, it's moving forward, but well,
it seems like this is gonna do something, and then we're gonna have X-Men after this, and like the next phase is gonna be mostly X-Men stuff, I think.
MCU reboot is just the X-Men universe now.
Yeah, people say that this would be the time to reboot. But
maybe after Secret Wars, like a soft reboot, like everything still happened. Maybe a couple of characters like Doctor Strange would remember it, and that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know if they're actually going to recast like your Iron Man and Captain America. I think
I don't know if they're going to do all that.
Keep going for 10 more years and then
we have a Captain America right now.
That's what I'm saying. He just got.
We haven't really seen him do much yet, but
February is right around the corner.
Yeah, I don't even think tickets are on sale yet for that.
Oh yeah, we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Or we just got to be paying attention.
Paying attention. Yeah.
Helldivers is getting a live action movie. What a way to strike while the iron is cooling down.
Yeah, they took a while to announce this up. But
so Helldivers,
it's Starship Troopers. We already have this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's based on a really good book.
Helldivers is supposedly original though, right? It's not like they're.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't start out saying
The first Helldivers
like
game came out like over a decade ago.
I was about to say. So this is the second one.
Yeah, Helldivers 2 is the one that got popular.
Okay. So I think I got the wrong poster.
That's okay.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about this. I didn't play.
I mean,
Helldivers.
I'll watch it because Helldivers, that whole universe it's a lot of fun and ridiculous. But I honestly do think it's gonna feel like a Starship Troopers ripoff.
Yeah, this news just made me want to watch Starship Troopers, which I haven't done in many
I have
years.
the 4K steelbook.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It's a really cool art. It has like all the alien skulls and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Yeah.
I like it.
I haven't watched it since I was an adult and I learned about the fascism.
I've never seen it as an adult.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I saw it as a kid for some reason.
I watched it as a kid a ton.
My dad showed it to me. I wasn't sure what I was watching, but I was like, this is cool.
And I thought the co-ed showers was just like a thing. I thought that was like regular life. And you would go to high school or college.
And everyone's naked together.
And everyone just gets naked and showers together. I was like 11 when this came out, by the way.
I'm doing my part.
And Neil Patrick Harris is like the Nazi.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Jason Momoa is returning to the DC as Lobo,
which is the role that he originally wanted.
I don't know how long he's wanted Lobo. I know he really likes
He's been talking about it since before he got cast as Aquaman.
Before?
Yeah.
He got cast as Aquaman like a decade ago.
Okay, so probably around the time he got cast as Aquaman.
So, yeah, fine. He's cool. Bring him back.
Yeah.
Different role.
He looks like Lobo.
He really does. And they'll make him up too. He'll have probably like gray skin and do all that shit. And
I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about him. DC isn't really my wheelhouse.
Okay.
It's more yours.
I don't know much about Lobo either. I've seen him in one cartoon.
I know he's like a what? Alien bounty hunter?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's like a monster looking guy.
Yeah.
I know
he looks like Jason Momoa, but with like red eyes and pale skin.
Yeah. Here's what I don't understand. His appearance, he will first appear in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the Supergirl movie.
Which we still don't have like a date or anything on, right?
I think there's like a loose time frame.
Okay.
Apparently Gunn is trying to do this very organically, so as soon as he's not necessarily attaching these to dates until he knows which one is like most ready to go.
Yeah, he's doing it like
probably how you should.
He said something like his rule is like we're not doing anything until the
screenplay is done.
Yeah,
which is smart.
That's a good rule of thumb to have.
Good to not put the cart behind the horse, but also I'd be very curious to know at what point Warner Brothers is like, no, like we need dates. You need because it's not just like
well, yeah, because you can't move too slow with this either.
No, but like people don't work without deadlines either. Like without deadlines, like no one accomplishes anything. Like you do need a little
too
bit
much
of pressure.
Freedom can be bad. But yeah, that's why we're getting a Clayface movie before a lot of other movies.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, before we have like a Batman.
Which, funny enough, I was watching Creature Commandos, and Clayface does show up in that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that till I saw it.
He's a different one than
Well, it's not the Harley Quinn one,
but
it'll
still
be the same one that would be in this movie, though, right? Since it's the DCEU.
Unless if it's an Elseworlds movie. He said he's not against Elseworlds at all.
I guess we'll find out.
Like I think he prefers everything to be in universe,
right?
But DC has such a rich history with Elseworlds. I mean, like, and those are a lot of times those are the books that sell because it's a what if,
Right,
you
and
know?
DC, I think they do better with Elseworld stuff than Marvel ever did with What If stuff.
Or Ultimate or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, DC's right now they're doing DC. I forget, but it's like their version of Ultimate. And then like Marvel's redoing their Ultimate also, so they have a new Ultimates coming on, and then DC has it's like some extreme word. Anyway, like Batman is like enormous, and Superman, Wonder Man, all basically it just gives them an opportunity to like be creative with their origins again. Yeah. So like Batman's not rich this time; he's poor.
Oh, that's odd.
DC Absolute. Thank you. It's called DC Absolute.
Absolute Universe. Yeah. Okay. Because I remember when Marvel did the Ultimate Universe, at first it was because they were like, all right, we kind of want to just modernize all of our heroes and stuff. And like.
Well, I thought it was always going to be.
Because it started with Spider-Man. It was Ultimate Spider-Man. It was just like a more modern take on Spider-Man.
But they were never going to like reboot the Marvel Universe. That was always a side thing.
That's why it became like a side thing. Because like we want to modernize it, but we don't want to reset what we've already done. And then the Ultimate Universe just kind of went to shit. It became this like really weird thing where like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are in love with each other. I don't know. The Blob was eating the Wasp. Like cannibalism.
Was eating the Wasp?
The Blob, like he ate her.
The X-Men character?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It just the Ultimate Universe had a bunch of weird shit like that happening in it at the end.
Was she little or was she big?
She was...
Not that it matters.
I don't remember.
Okay. Wow.
But then Ant-Man turned big and ate the Blob.
Ugh.
It's gross. I think that event was called Ultimatum. Magneto flooded New York. That's what caused all that to happen.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I gotta put... What's behind me? Is that Sable stuff?
Yeah, that's Sable's desk.
Right here. Okay, yeah. I need like stuff behind me. It's just a blank wall. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do. Anyway. All right, well.
She was normal size.
Oh, so you like literally just like eating another human.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the news for this week. Thank you guys for watching and listening and supporting us on Patreon. And we'll see you guys next time with news from the Phantom Zone.
Bye.
Bye. All right, cool.
They did kill Daredevil off screen or off panel.
Oh, in Ultimates?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, fuck the Ultimate Universe. I'm glad it's gone.
Well,
they took all the important stuff from it. They took Miles from it. That's all we needed.
They're making another Ultimate.
I think they already did make another Ultimate
That's what
Universe.
I'm saying. There's another Ultimate Universe now.
I don't know if anyone cares about it, though.
Let's see. Pod. And pod. Boom. All right, guys. Who's ready for our regularly scheduled programming? Aha. Okay. Let's make sure our microphones work correctly. Test.
Test.
Oh, RL Skill is here.
Nice.
Right as we finish the news. Oh, my God.
Oh, shit. We didn't talk about the Daredevil trailer in our news segment.
What was there to talk about?
I don't know.
You know what? I did think about that. That was like probably a few things that I could have added and I forgot. Because in the moment, I just go off of our notes that we make on our Discord. Right. And so whatever's there is what I just put in. I'm like, 5 things to talk about. Perfect. But yeah, Daredevil trailer looks good.
It does.
There was something else I had. Oh, I thought about talking about Switch too. It's not like comic book stuff, but I mean it's video games.
News.
Yeah.
It's also the first time ever that Nintendo didn't completely change their controller with a new console.
Well, kinda. Because the Wii U was introduced like the gamepad, but the regular controllers were still the Wiimotes.
It was primarily played with the gamepad, though.
Well, no, because you can only use one gamepad per system. So any multiplayer, you needed the Wiimote.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And
nobody played multiplayer on the Wii U because nobody had one.
I have one right there. You have one. We all had... like, a lot of people had one. It's, it
I know a total of 3 people that owned one and a total of like 5 people that knew what the hell it was.
Well, I enjoyed it. It was a clear
Also, they sold the Wii U Pro controller, which was like a regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the big one that they were pushing.
Well, we had one too.
Yeah, that was a weird one. You had to like plug it into your Wiimote.
Yeah, it was still pro. Yeah, well, you just sat it. The Wii remote would just sit there on the table or on your lap, and you just like.
It'd have to be on your lap because the cord was like a foot long.
Yeah, on your lap or whatever. And then they redid the Pro controller for Wii U, and then they redid it again for Switch. We've had Pro controllers for a while, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah. I still think the Wii is the best and worst thing that happened to Nintendo. Because it kind of pigeonholed them into like, oh, we got to do like gimmick stuff now, like forever.
But the thing is, like, I mean, maybe to an extent, but like, I don't know. I gotta think about this for a second, because I agree with you. At the same time, like, I think we might be in a minority because people play. Well, like,
most people love it.
Yeah, I thought the gimmick was silly, and I didn't use it very often. I liked pointing on the screen like a mouse for a little bit, and then I was like, this is not gonna work or whatever. I like the one where you put it on top of a gun and it was like a blaster. That was fun. I didn't do
crossbow training,
but like, yeah, some people did it. But anyway, I thought it was like, I didn't like Wii Sports because I thought it was like a silly game. It didn't work very well. I didn't like the motion controls. I didn't think it was competitive enough to be fun. But most people loved it. Like, most people loved the shit out of Wii Sports. And like, your average Wii owner played Wii Sports as much as any other game.
Yeah.
So I think we're in the minority.
Man. Yeah, because I'm looking back, I'm like, I played my Wii a lot like when I first got it, but like I dropped off it hard.
I played Smash Bros.
I only played Smash Bros. And I used my GameCube controller for it.
I remember I played Mario Kart with the wheel.
I did not like Mario Kart on the Wii at all. I hated the motion controls. I hated them.
Yeah. And then I did it once, and I was like, this is stupid. And I turned it off, and I used a nunchuck. But you know what I actually did like? I liked the nunchuck combo, Wiimote combo, because then you weren't like, I don't know. I like the freedom of moving my hands around. And I feel like we get that again with the
Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons, if you hold them individually and play like that.
Yeah.
Which I've done before. I've played games like this.
I've only done that for like games that require like the fitness boxing or whatever, like those the games that are basically Wii games on the Switch.
Mario, what's the new one called? Not Wonder, the one before that. The 3D one.
Odyssey. I've only played like 2 hours of that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's really fun. It requires you to hold both of them separately, not in a controller, because you have to do motion controls.
So you can't do that shit in handheld mode?
I think you can. You can, but the motion controls are easier than hitting another button.
Oh, okay.
Because it's motion control, but you can like go sideways, down. It's how he throws his hat. So if you flick in a certain direction, it'll change how he throws his hat. So it's kind of better that way.
Okay.
Ring Fit Adventure. What's that?
It's a fitness game on the Switch.
Huh. Anyway, Switch 2. It's got it's bigger.
It's bigger.
It looks more sturdy. It looks a little bit like it's the kickstand isn't this flimsy little piece of plastic. It's got like a real kickstand. Not that. I mean, some people probably use a kickstand. I've never had to use it.
I think I've used it maybe once.
It's got magnetic Joy-Cons. It's almost like a MagSafe situation. They just kind of
which I like. I like that a lot better than the rail system that they have right now.
As long as it doesn't come, as long as it's like it's pretty tight. Like as long as the magnets are pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise, I think they have to be because they have a button release that kind of pushes off so you can disconnect it. But because if you're a lot of people play handheld, and if they're not like if you kind of like jerk it and the whole thing comes like falls off, that'd suck.
Yeah.
What else is new? Backwards compatibility announced.
Good.
They said it.
I can't wait to not be able to find one in stores for a year.
Maybe. I mean, I got Switch on the first Switch I got on launch day.
I couldn't find one for a while when it first came out. It took me.
I mean, I think I got it on launch day. I think I got
maybe like 3 months to get one.
Oh. I don't recall having any trouble getting. It might have been like months after it came out.
This is also around the same time that the SNES Mini came out, and that was impossible to find too. Remember that?
SNES. Oh yeah. I wasn't interested in it because I was like, I know most of these games are going to be on like virtual, the store, whatever.
Yeah, but they didn't add this to Switch till like 5 years later.
It's whatever. What else?
You can motion control with the Pro too, though. Yeah, I think the Pro controller has like a small amount of motion control.
Oh no, it does. It absolutely does. But you can't do the things you can in Odyssey, because in Odyssey again you have to
it requires you to do like
yeah. So if you use the Pro controller, you have to use a button, and it's not as fun. That game is fun. So let's see, Joy-Cons, bigger. Maybe, probably not OLED, which a lot of people are kind of upset about, because the OLED model for the previous one, the Wii, is pretty much, or not the Wii, the Switch is probably like their Pro version.
Yeah, so, and even that took them a long time to release too. And also, people like OLED screens.
Yeah, I don't play handheld really very much. I mostly play docked.
I don't really play handheld either. I have other things for like handheld gaming.
Yeah, but okay, you're also an extreme minority that you own literally every form of video gaming there is.
And there's still nothing to play.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm glad that they're just continuing the Switch. Thank you for your order. Oh, yeah. Continuing the Switch kind of form factor, because I think it's a perfect form factor. I think Nintendo invented the ultimate, like, console form factor. Like, obviously, like, it could be more powerful, like a PS5, graphics would be better, yada yada yada. But as far as the actual, like, how the machine works physically and connectivity wise, that's the perfect video game machine. And which is why, like, 4 other consoles have copied it since then, right? Like Steam Deck, Nvidia has one. They all look the same, right? You can play them handheld. You can plug them in, dock them, put them on the screen. It's all one machine.
A Steam Deck docked is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, I know the specs on that are great for a small machine. Yeah, right, for a handheld machine.
Well, obviously, it's not going to be like a desktop PC level of like.
It's like a bad desktop PC level, right?
Yeah. Which in your hands is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So
that's great. So, but again, would the Steam Deck exist if the Switch didn't come first? You know what I mean? My concern was always like Nintendo's going to try to reinvent themselves like they did from GameCube to Wii. Your point, right? Best and worst thing that they could have done, and kind of jump off ship, right? Off course of where they should be. They
like
should
they
just
did
be
with the Wii U.
Yeah, they should just be sticking to the Switch basically forever. Just update, whatever you want to update, make it a little bit better each time. But really, like, I think that's as good as it's gonna get.
Because they have the best of both worlds with this. They can do their handheld thing that they own the market on, basically, and make it a console too.
Yeah. What I think what they need to start doing is. And again, we're gonna get an official announcement in April, but with like all the specs.
They need to fucking get with the times with their online services, though.
Why are they bad?
They're still doing fucking friend codes,
as opposed to what?
Names.
What do you mean? Like
if you want to add a friend on your friends list.
Yeah, you have to share a code, right?
Yeah.
So how does everyone else do it?
You look up their name and add them.
This seems like a minor thing. Like,
no, it's annoying as fuck.
How is this any?
It's annoying as fuck. Nintendo and online has always been shitty.
If I look for you in like PS Network and I just type in Birdo, there's gonna be 1,000 of you. How am I? You know what I mean?
No, but like you type in like my screen name.
How is that different than a friend code?
It's not like 52 digits that you need to like actually share with the person.
It's not. It's like 16 digits. It's like 12 digits or something.
It's way too much.
Anyway, you can't look for Birdo on Switch though.
Yeah, you can't find me on Switch.
Anyway, Arculus
agrees with me, by the way.
They showed a little bit of footage from a Mario Kart game, which is clearly a new game. It's not going to be an update.
Or they're just adding tracks to 8 again.
No, Because here's some things that people have noticed.
It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2.
People with really keen eyes have noticed that there are 24 slots for the starting line, meaning it'll be 24-player races instead of 12.
Hey, you could do that with just a game update.
All the characters look different. They're all animated different. Donkey Kong
so we're
is
finally getting a Mario Kart 9.
Yeah. Mario Kart. Just to point out, Mario Kart 8 came out for the Wii U. This was not a Switch game. It was updated for Switch, and that's where they called it Deluxe. And then they've patched it so many times that it's a completely different game now than it was
We're up
on
until
release.
like last year. They were still adding new tracks.
Yeah, fantastic. And I love that. They didn't make you go buy a new game. Way to go, Nintendo.
Yeah, but now we're going to get Mario Kart 9, and it's going to have 12 tracks, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
I would say what they need to do is keep like if you have the online thing that unlocked all the tracks in the first place, you get all of those as like old tracks, and then they introduce 12 more. I think that's how that's
how they should do it, but this is Nintendo. These are the people that will not re-release any of their old shit.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They literally do all the time. They do it slowly, sure, but they do it.
And then they take it away. And no, Nintendo's got a problem with that.
They're very negative.
Nintendo pisses me off. They're the fucking Apple of the video game industry.
It's probably true. Anyway, new characters. Definitely a new game. I'm excited for what the launch games are going to be because those are always the ones that I play for the entirety of the time that I own the game.
It'll probably be maybe a 3D Mario.
Another Odyssey 2 or another
We're not
Mario
getting
game.
a Zelda for a while. We just got one.
Yeah. I hope there's what if they do like Tears of the Kingdom a deluxe? I'd start it all over.
If they have backwards compatibility, I can't see them really doing that.
Why not? They literally did it for Mario Kart. Literally did it for Mario Kart.
I don't know. A new Smash Bros would be nice though.
Well, the last one they called Ultimate, which means it's last one.
Yeah, but nobody ever uses Ultimate as final.
So, funny you mentioned that. This is kind of a personal thing in my job. Not really in my job, but I'm not directly involved. Here in Orlando, there's the I-4, right? Goes from Tampa to Daytona.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's an interstate. Goes from Tampa to Daytona, right?
Uh-huh.
When they expanded the construction project for expanding the lanes, I-4 in Orlando, they called it I-4 Ultimate. And I guess the idea is like, this is the best. It's gonna be the best and last expansion. They
didn't account for how much our population would boom, did they?
No, it's considered, and regular people are going to scoff at this because regular people on the road are very negative. They didn't. It's considered an incredible success.
Here's the thing: I-4 is a lot better now than it was 10 years ago.
There you go. It's honestly considered. It's won prizes in the civil engineering world. It's an incredible feat of construction engineering. All of it. There's a fast lane in it.
But if you're on the road, you wouldn't think any of this.
If you were around for the old, what they called a trumpet exit for when you would have to get off I-4 and get on the 408.
Oh,
do you remember
awful.
that? Yeah. It was one of the most dangerous things I've ever seen on the road. It's so stupid.
I remember I had to get on that ramp, and then you come to a sudden stop.
And then you have to fight for your lane. Because everyone has to switch lanes simultaneously.
Yep.
It's very dangerous. They got rid of that. It's super safe now. Now, are there accidents? Yeah, but they're people's fault. Like, the road is really well designed. Anyway, they're continuing the project further south and towards the Disney area, right? That subsection of the project is called Beyond the Ultimate. And that just upset me.
Beyond the Ultimate.
Because there's nothing beyond the Ultimate. Ultimate means last.
Here's the thing. Nobody uses it as last. Everybody uses it as, the best.
Yeah.
At least right now.
Yeah. But there's a lot of words people use incorrectly. Like great. Great doesn't mean good. Great means big. Right?
Yeah.
So
when Disney was talking about a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
They say big, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I love there's a scene in Harry Potter where what's his name? Ollivander calls Voldemort great, and he doesn't mean good. He says he's evil, but he did great things, as in big things that no one's ever done before. And I think if you don't understand the definition of that word, then that scene doesn't really hit. But I guess British people, maybe this is an American
British
problem,
people might, it's crazy. English people might know English better than us.
That could be an American problem where we fucked that word up at some point. Anyway. Should we get started?
We probably should.
All right, let's go. Welcome to Films from the Phantom Zone, your podcast about failed and forgotten comic book movies, where you watch a forgotten superhero movie and decide, does this belong in the Phantom Zone to be forgotten for forever or out and about for everyone to rewatch and remember fondly? My name is Arnaldo, and I'm your host, and I'm joined by...
Berto,
welcome back to the show.
Thanks.
Been about 3 weeks. I had to... We did the Christmas episode, and we did it in my new home.
Right.
But it was in shambles, and now it's a little bit more put together. It's only semi-shambly in here.
A little less shambles.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the TV up.
Was that not up before?
Nope.
Yeah. TV's up.
There was nothing here before.
All the TVs are up now. We're looking good. We're looking better.
Whoa.
So, yeah. R.L. Skill found me the quote. Yeah. Use the one to do great things. Terrible, but great. I love Ollivander because he's like... I'm thinking of another character.
Doesn't he get like executed or something?
No, he survives.
Oh. What am I thinking of?
He gets tortured though.
Oh.
There's a character who's like, I'm trying to think of what the thing is, who isn't too concerned about wrong or right because they just want to see how like
from Harry Potter?
How big? No, it's from something else.
Oh.
It's like Marvel or Star Wars or something. You just want to see like how big the bad guy, like what the feat is.
Like they're fascinated by it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sounds like a lot of comic book villains, actually.
Yeah, sounds like every comic book villain ever, actually. Berto, what movie are we watching?
We are watching The Death of the Incredible Hulk.
We're taking it back to our roots, man. Like, we haven't done... our last, like, proper comic book movie off our list was Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
That was a while ago. Yeah.
It was like September. And then we did a bunch of other shit. And we took some time off. We
just kind of did a bunch of bullshit.
We'd be doing some bullshit, haven't we?
Yeah.
Transformers. Check that episode out. Plus, we did Venom review.
Still haven't reviewed Kraven.
Venom. No, sorry, I already said Venom. Oh, I haven't seen Kraven.
No.
I don't think I'm gonna. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it. Deadpool and Wolverine, we reviewed that. These are the last few things we did. And we're doing a Christmas episode on Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
But we're coming back to our roots. We are doing this because Red Hulk is making an appearance in Captain America. Brave New World. New World Order.
Brave New World.
Okay.
New World Order is what it used to be
That's
called.
the first title. Yeah. So that's coming out soon. We're going to do this movie and the Ang Lee Hulk movie.
Yep.
I don't think there's going to be time. It's February what? When does that movie come out? Valentine's Day?
February 14th.
All right, so we have a month.
So, yeah, I'll probably watch it on February 13th.
If there's time, we'll do the Captain America movie serial.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It's really racist.
Oh.
And I think
yikes,
that'd be fun to go back.
And I think that'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun to watch him use all these Asian slurs.
Oh, boy. They use Asian slurs? I thought he was fighting Nazis.
No, the bad guys are Japanese.
Oh, I guess that makes sense, too.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he doesn't have to use slurs, though.
He was American in the 40s.
I guess. I'm just saying.
Wasn't it also made in the 40s, or was it 50s?
Yeah. It's like, it was like right after World War II.
Oh, shit.
Or during or before.
Yeah,
I don't
America
know.
was terrified of Japan.
Yeah. I can't wait. It was a different time. Anyway.
I mean, it was, but it's not an excuse.
Anyway, this movie, if you want to watch it along. Oh, so actually, this is the last of the TV show, The Incredible Hulk movie.
Yes, this serves as a finale to the whole thing.
Yes. So what happened was...
It wasn't supposed to be, though.
No, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
When She-Hulk was coming out 2 years ago, we did this entire series, and then we just never finised it. And so
we
I
just
was
didn't
like...
finish in time, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever, we'll just save that for the next thing. And so now here we are.
It's the next thing.
But so if you want to go back and watch these, they're available kind of all over the place. This I don't think was available anywhere except for the Internet Database.
I had to find the Internet Archive.
Yeah. It's very it's a great place to go because there's a lot of shit on there.
There's a lot of shit that you thought you may never see again on there. Yeah,
like movies and stuff. So there's how this worked was I think there was 3 seasons of the TV show. It got kicked off by a TV movie. Then the second episode was also a TV movie, so we covered those. Then 3 seasons of the TV show, and then it went on a hiatus for like a few years, like 6 or 7 years or something like that. And then Bill Bixby wanted to bring it back now that and he'll direct. He wasn't directing before. I think he might have directed an episode or 2. But he was going to help write and direct or a series of TV films, and so we've been covering those as well. But just so you know, so it goes like 2 movies, a bunch of TV shows, then 3 more movies. And this is the very last one. So anyway, we're streaming on Twitch. We stream all these episodes on Twitch. Come check us out, twitch.tv/filmsfrompz. Let's get started. Birdo. Sorry, I almost called you my dog's name.
Oh my God.
I have no idea why. I was like, all right, come on, Kai. Actually, I was going to call you my dead dog's name.
Oh.
I'm losing it.
I'm so confused now.
This show's created by Kenneth Johnson, but this was directed by Bill Bixby. Ken Johnson was no longer involved by the movie portion.
Right.
Written by Gerald DePago. DePago. I don't know. Starring Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno, Elizabeth Grayson, Philip Sterling, and Barbara Tarbuck. There's a bunch of other people. These are like TV people.
I think I read somewhere that Philip Sterling was actually in that old Doctor Strange movie we did as well.
Really?
He played a doctor in that too.
That would have been that was 70s, so that was like a good 10 to 15 years
he would have
prior.
been younger, yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool. Some background information. So this is the 3rd film, right? This one was initially going to feature She-Hulk, just as the last ones had featured a Marvel hero like Thor and Daredevil.
Which is why we were going to do this around the time She-Hulk came out.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. However, obviously She-Hulk is not in this movie. What I find super interesting, though, is that there's a Black Widow in this, but she's not Black Widow.
She absolutely could have been.
They could have just called her like Natasha Romanoff and have to change absolutely nothing. Yep. She is literally Black Widow, and it's clear as day that's what the inspiration was.
Yeah. I'm curious if that was a rights thing or what.
Just not pay Marvel a few more dollars, maybe.
Right.
What's funny about the creation of She-Hulk, and we talked about this 2 years ago, is that Marvel and Stan Lee came up with She-Hulk specifically so that this show wouldn't beat them to it.
There was also supposed to be a She-Hulk like spin-off after this.
If they put
that
She-Hulk
was
in
also
this,
planned, yeah.
Well, all of these were supposed to be backdoor pilots, and none of them got made. We didn't get that Thor TV show.
I think that Thor TV show would have been fun.
I do too. And you know what? I actually yesterday, because I was like, damn, I don't remember these that well. So I went back and I listened to our episode about that one, the one with Thor. I think it's called Return of the Incredible Hulk.
Return of the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, because that was before the Daredevil one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was Thor one, then the Daredevil one's the Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Yep. Where there wasn't much of a trial.
There wasn't a trial. It was just like a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Bullshit. And then this one. But so they thought Kenneth Johnson had created the $10 million man, $5 million man, $1 million man. What? How does that show
$6
go?
million man?
6. Thank you.
Yeah, you said like every number but that.
$6 million man, and then spun off Bionic Woman. So like he already had a history of taking a successful TV show and then spinning off a female character.
Right.
And they were like, Marvel just assumed he was gonna make a female Hulk, so they made She-Hulk ahead of it. That way, if they do a female Hulk, they would owe them royalties and not the other way around.
And it just
So that's how we got She-Hulk. But anyway, and then for whatever reason, She-Hulk wasn't in this movie. But
see our Where's Mephisto episode on the first episode of She-Hulk, I guess.
What do you mean?
Is that where we talk about that? We talked about that during our She-Hulk stuff.
Yeah. Actually, we probably talked about it during these also.
I think one of the She-Hulk episodes also did like a parody intro of this TV show.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's right. I need to go watch She-Hulk again. I'm so mad that they haven't yet done a season 2.
And I don't know if they will.
I don't think they will either. But like that,
especially with all the Disney Plus budget cuts,
would have been the most like repeatable TV show. I mean, like that you can make multiple seasons of. You know, other than like What If. But even What If, they're cutting at 3.
Yeah. What If season 3 was a little disappointing for me?
Oh, I've seen 2 episodes and I liked it a lot. You don't like the Bollywood episode?
I like that one.
That was good.
That one was good.
Yeah.
It was just like, it just seemed like a lot of wasted potential with that show, though.
Oh, you don't like the kaiju one?
Not as much as I thought I would.
Oh, it was just like straight. Well, I guess we should talk about that for Where's Mephisto.
Yeah, you got to finish the season though.
I got to binge. Yeah, I stopped. I took
and Skeleton Crew.
I did like a month and a half of not watching any TV because we were moving. So
Yeah.
I was just like, I didn't watch nothing. And then when we finally like started unpacking, I was like, turned on the TV. I was like, this is weird. Anyway, let's get going. Plot. Are you ready?
Yeah.
David Banner now works at a top-secret underground facility called Gene Core Laboratory under the guise of a spacey, oftentimes confused janitor. He maintains his persona throughout all aspects of his life, so that the people close to him assume he's disabled and have to remind him to continue scrubbing floors or not leave his thermos behind on his way out. Even the bank teller...
They kept bugging him about that thermos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does it for a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Philly says the kaiju episode was really cool. Didn't like the final Hulk design. Because he's Godzilla, dude. What do you want?
Yeah, they just made him Godzilla.
They made him Godzilla.
They didn't make him World Breaker Hulk. They made him Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever. What was I going to say? He did this in another movie, right? Where he was like, was he a janitor? He was like in a lab.
He was in a lab.
Oh, no, he was a doctor.
In the first movie, he was in a lab because he worked there.
He worked there, but he just changed his name.
Yeah.
And he worked secretly.
And then he got upset and he had to leave.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can pay you more if you let me put you on the payroll. And he's like, no.
Cash only, bitch. Even the bank teller who cashes his paychecks every week takes pity when he doesn't understand her joke. A slick thug follows David after collecting his cash and asks for money. David denies him but feels bad when the man limps away. He follows him into an alley where he's ambushed by more thugs. They punch and rob the cash out of his pockets, ignoring David's pleas to not do this. Tossed aside, David's eyes glow and emerges the Incredible Hulk. He throws the thugs down the street and the police show up. Hulk escapes by bursting through brick walls and a few apartments.
And he's like, there's nowhere for you to go. And he just runs through the walls in slow motion.
Yeah. This was fun, and it put me back in kind of this mindset where it's like it's the late 80s, early 90s. This is 1990 actually. Mm-hmm. And like it's a TV budget, and I feel like once you settle into that, you have so much fun with these.
No, like they're campy. They really are. But I
don't think they're that campy. I think like they're very earnest.
This one felt kind of campy. And maybe it's been so long since I watched the other ones, I just wasn't in the headspace for it. Mm-hmm. That could be it.
Or Skill says Lou Ferrigno let himself go for this one.
I don't know what? He didn't seem as ripped.
I saw...
If you want to see Lou Ferrigno after he let himself go, though, watch the 2008 Hulk movie where he's the security guard.
Oh, he looks pretty bulky still, but like...
He's bulky, but it's like... You can tell it's like underneath some like fat.
They also just like gave him like a really tight shirt.
True. He's also like old at that point. Yeah. So.
That wasn't that. I mean, that was 2003.
Well, no, I was talking about the 2008 one.
Oh,
with Edward Norton.
Yeah, he cameoed in the 03 one also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Lou Ferrigno's always been a part of live action Hulk.
Yeah.
Because he did the voice for the Ruffalo Hulk too.
Well, up until like
the
third. He did it like 2 times.
Up until
and then
I think after Age of Ultron he stopped doing it.
And then Ruffalo does them now. Yeah.
But that's because Hulk actually like speaks now. So. But I liked when the doctor offered Banner like his wife's carrot cake, and he's like, "But my hands are full."
Yeah. Part of me was like, "This seems distasteful, dude. You're like pretending to basically."
Yeah, I'm just like, what are you doing, dude?
Like be disabled. Like that's
right.
how he's coming across, and everyone's like takes pity on him. But
everyone's
it's like,
"Oh, David."
But no one suspects a thing, too. It's like they're not gonna. He's the last person that they think is gonna sneak in and do all the equations.
Because the bank teller was like, "Oh, looks like you're gonna have a fun Friday night." And he goes, "No, I save it."
Yeah, it's like, oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is the first time I noticed that Hulk wears shoes. Obviously, he wears shoes. He can't just do all these stunts barefoot. It's not safe. But if there's not a close up on his feet, which sometimes there is, he's got these little green little slippers.
I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah, well, they're color matched perfectly. Like,
okay,
it's good production for what this is.
Yeah.
The next week, David uses his confused act to sneak into the laboratory. There, he studies Dr. Pratt's research and applies some corrections. Elsewhere, a couple play an unusually rigorous game of racquetball where the woman wins. The man promises he'll have more time to, quote-unquote, play racquetball and win after his business deal is done, and doesn't notice that she's stolen a cassette tape from him, which she hands off to a partner in secret.
I like how he just, like, ran into, like, the window.
If this sounds familiar to you, I don't know if you realize this.
We did
They already did racquetball.
It was in another Hulk movie, right?
It was 2 movies ago.
Okay.
The one with Thor in it. The bad guys are playing racquetball, and they're very hyper competitive.
Wasn't racquetball huge in like the 80s and 90s, though?
I think that's just what it is.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, this is getting kind of lazy.
Like how pickleball's big now.
I think that's what it is, yeah. Because 2 of these movies that use racquetball, and it's like, well, because before, I forgot about this until, I thought it was familiar, and then I was driving to work. I put our old episode on.
Yeah.
Return of the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
And I got to the part where they're playing racquetball, and I was like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew this looked familiar. But in there, I was saying that it's like some weird metaphor for like manliness, because the villains, the villains are basically playing racquetball.
Yeah.
And like they're like, you have like, if you don't win racquetball, you're not good enough or whatever. Like it's like a measuring stick. It's like a dick measuring stick for them, right?
Yeah.
And in here, it's kind of used the same way, where like he feels a little emasculated
because he lost to a girl,
right? But meanwhile, she's also like an incredibly fit, powerful woman. She's Black Widow, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was funny. I also thought it was funny that they were like, "Oh, I want to win." He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna win together." So we get it. You're gonna fuck.
You're gonna fuck, but not really.
But not really. She's never gonna see you again because she already stole your shit.
Yikes,
Mr. Important Businessman.
Whoa. Why was she playing racquetball with the cassette tape just like tucked into her pants?
I didn't see her take it. I guess at some point she took it.
It had to have been before they were playing, right?
Or during, like when he like looked over, picked up the ball, she went in his bag or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't show it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. They might have not shown it.
I just thought it was weird because my first thought was she playing this whole time with like the cassette just like shoved in there?
Yeah.
Like, but
While the woman is showering, a man walks in on her and calls her Yasmin. She's not at all surprised and reluctantly goes with him to speak to his boss, who demands she continue to serve as a spy. The boss assigns her a job to steal information from Dr. Pratt, David's lab scientist. They're holding her sister hostage as ransom to prevent Yasmin from disappearing again.
Yeah, the guy just kind of walks in, like opens the shower door, is like, "Here, put this on."
Yeah, and she's like not surprised. And at first I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But it's like, "Oh, I get it. She's a spy." Like,
also, she was soaking wet when she put that robe on.
Yeah, but that's how they do it in every movie. They never stop to towel off. They just put the robe on.
That's comfortable.
And I always think the same thing. I'm like, do people actually do this? And I know towels aren't. I know robes are like made out of like towel material.
Not that one. That one was like a silk robe.
Oh yeah, true. Here's the other thing too. Are robes real? Like, I know they're real.
Do people actually use them?
Do people actually use them, or is that just a TV thing?
I don't know. Every time I've ever like had a robe, I've never used it because what's the point?
Well, it's
maybe in a sauna.
It's so you like towel off, or you have something to wear before you get dressed. But part of me thinks it's just a movie thing.
I just wrap a towel around my waist and I'm good.
Same, because in movies people need to cover up because they can't be naked on camera all the time.
Right.
Like,
I guess if you wear a robe, you could actually like walk around your house.
Yeah, but I would just do that naked. Or in a towel.
What if you have roommates? I can't walk around my house naked.
All right, so get you a robe.
I'm not getting a robe.
But you would just go from your fucking bathroom.
I would just go to the bathroom in my bedroom, yeah. It's like a normal person does, right?
That's what I think robes are mostly like a movie thing. That's kind of like my theory on this.
Or maybe it was like more of I don't know, in the old days.
I don't know. I don't think people really use them very much. Again, I just think
anybody in the chat use robes?
Yeah, I think it's a movie thing to like
Like bathrobes.
hide a naked body. So where a normal person would just be walking around naked, they have to put a robe on. I think movies popularize robes, basically. Anyway.
What's the point of them?
This is not the conversation we need to be having. At his home, Dr. Pratt confides in his wife that someone is breaking into the high-security lab, but is not stealing anything. Instead, he's helping him and guiding his work. His wife suggests that his invisible partner may be a ghost.
Ooh.
But also, like, is metaphorically correct.
But also, like, his wife also seems like very into, like, supernatural stuff. She always talks about, like, feelings, like, I'm feeling this or whatever. I noticed that.
I didn't notice that.
The movie doesn't go anywhere with it, but...
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. He's a scientist, right? He's really grounded.
And so
you got to pair him with an opposite.
I guess.
Yeah. Dr. Pratt leaves a message for David on his computer. Who are you? David dramatically writes back, I... don't exist. I thought that was unnecessarily dramatic.
I thought he was going to call himself like Mr. Green or something.
Oh, that's what that reminded me of.
The Hulk movie, right? I thought he was going to say like Mr. Green or Mr. Blue.
Like, I know all of these movies served as influence to like every Hulk thing that came after that.
Yeah.
After this. But there are some very specific things that I'm like, oh, maybe like this.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Blue and Mr. Green.
The conversation through like the
computer.
Really old computer.
Yeah. Huh. The next day, Dr. Pratt stays late and watches security cameras and catches David sneaking in. The next day, Dr. Pratt stays late watching security cameras and catches David sneaking in. The jig is up, and David reveals he's Dr. David Banner, who's been missing for years. Dr. Pratt is very familiar with Banner's work and begs to help him cure him and study the Hulk. Again, very similar, Mr. Blue, Mr. Green. The pair of doctors spend a montage worth of time researching, but also relaxing at Dr. Pratt's home with his wife.
I like how he sees David walking on the cameras, and he's just like, "Oh, David, while you're in here, he's never gonna show up." Like, you can't be cleaning in here right now. What are you doing? Like, he was more annoyed.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that David shouldn't be in there at all.
What's the name of the movie that does this? With
who?
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, it's Good Will Hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Where the janitor sneaks in, solves all the equations.
Yep. Oh, shit.
There's a lot of, like, familiarities here.
Yeah.
I gotta blow my nose. I'm gonna take a quick break.
All right.
2 seconds.
Space when there's not two chairs like in the middle. I don't know. It felt bigger when I walked in.
I'm pretty sure the thing is, it's worse. because it has an extra door and an extra wall. So I can't put the two. Before I could put the two desks on one side.
That's
so my
true.
desk would have been over there. Her desk would have been here. But because we have this door here, it kind of messes it all up.
Yeah, and you don't want to like just block the door.
However, the movies fit in here.
That's cool.
So it is cool. And once this area is cleared out, then it's going to have a really nice area where you can just literally just stand or sit and look at all the movies and go through them.
Hell
so
yeah.
I do like having that kind of nerd corner. And then I'm going to put all our kind of movie stuff up on these walls.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It'll look, I mean, this would be a great backdrop for us, but like it's adjacent. So
that's what sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't like Blake's room where like he can curate like his backdrop really well.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no space for that.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah. That's why I was like looking at this wall behind me. I was like, oh, I wonder if I can put stuff there. But it's also like Sable's wall.
Right.
So I don't know what I can get away with.
Probably not much.
Yeah, and not have her complain about it. I have a robe, Spider Nerd said. Cool. That he uses when he doesn't feel like putting on a shirt and someone comes out the door.
I guess that makes sense.
Just such a specific use case.
Yeah.
I just don't. I get out of the shower, whatever. I just walk around naked until I put some clothes on.
But you have a giant window and the whole city can see you.
No. They can only see you if they're specifically looking in here, like
with binoculars.
With binoculars, which I do sometimes. I'd be looking at shit all the time. It's just so fun. Yeah. And I do like, so this room, I do like that this only works if you are here with us, so I apologize. I like putting my desk up against this window. It's such a cool backdrop at nighttime.
The darkness.
No, the cities. The tall buildings.
Well, I can't see the buildings past the monitors.
Oh, here you can. If you're sitting here normally, you can.
I can't see shit.
Yeah. Anyway, not from over there. But the tall buildings are on this side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could see like under the monitors. I could see the library kind
and
of.
I can see the street. Anyway, there's always a fire truck going because like there's a fire station like right there,
and there's just always like.
So they're always coming in and out, and I'm always like, you always hear the sirens. All right, where were we?
We stopped at there.
At a bar, I was going to put this sentence somewhere else. It doesn't matter. At a bar, Yasmin seduces a lab security guard and steals his glass. She goes to the bathroom to copy his fingerprint, change her appearance, and leave undetected.
He definitely had like a boner.
Oh, dude.
Like the way he was like.
She like touches him or whatever.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this was the conversation when he was like, so like, are you a stewardess or like what was the other profession he said? And she's like, no, I swear I'm a
makeup, cosmetic something.
And she goes, no, I swear I'm a construction manager or something.
She says something.
Superintendent or something like that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Women have jobs that are important. Crazy. I don't remember what the line was though. But he was fascinated by her.
Did my mouse die?
Nice.
Oh no.
Oh.
Fuck! I lost it. She's a contractor. That's what she's
licensed contractor. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What a sexist piece of shit that guy.
It was. What year was this? 1990.
Oh, yeah. It was a funny joke, though. The time has come for experimentation. David is strapped to the equipment. David has equipment strapped onto him, put in a force field cage, and shocks himself to induce transformation. He has flashbacks of his original transformation and becomes the Hulk, but is unable to escape the force field. They shoot Hulk with a tranquilizer to sedate him back into David Banner, and observe his healing factor. Later, David is shown footage of himself as Hulk for the very first time.
Yeah, I guess he didn't know what he looked like when he was
I
the
guess
Hulk.
up until now he's only seen those like bad photographs. Remember, there's like a reporter that's like chasing him down for the entirety of the series.
He's like, I'm gonna figure out who this guy is.
Yeah, and we only saw him for like one movie.
And he's like, don't make me angry, Mister whatever your name is. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
He didn't say that in this.
Huh? No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's what this movie was missing.
All he said is, "No, please, don't do this."
I think it's funny that there was they had force field technology, which is like
Yeah, we still don't really have that.
yeah. But not only that, it's like they didn't really introduce anything else that was like crazy futuristic. It was
Just that.
Yeah.
Because they needed something that can contain the Hulk.
Right. It was fun. It was an okay effect.
Yeah, it was. I had no complaints about that.
Yeah. Dr. Pratt is limited by his superiors, who want his research to lead to creating super soldiers for the military. Dr. Pratt refuses and admits to David that he'll be shut down soon. So they'll have to conduct his procedure soon. I could have done that 10 million times better. David assumes all the possible risks, including death, telling Pratt there's no one else in his life besides him and his wife. Meanwhile, as in, like, the doctor's wife. And that made me, like, forget that 2 movies ago, like, he was almost married. He had, like, a whole life, and then he just, like, abandoned her.
He's like, well, I got mad, so I got to go.
I don't remember how that movie ends, but, like, he just, like,
the Thor one, right?
Yeah, he, like, straight up leaves her.
He leaves.
Weird. Anyway,
he left Thor, too.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jasmine steals a security guard's uniform from her at a dry cleaner and uses it to sneak into the lab. I started saying a sentence here, and that didn't go anywhere.
She did something.
Yeah. This was actually quite smart. I think this movie is very well written. But
this is where I thought the movie started getting like actually like pretty interesting when they started. Basically, when all the Black Widow stuff started happening.
Well, all the spy stuff is pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
Because her disguises are genuinely good.
Yeah, and her accents are good, and her voices are good. And so she took this opportunity to like size up this security guard really quickly. So
and she's like, well, he's a dumbass, so.
No, not him.
Oh, the other
girl.
Yeah.
I think they call her Betty.
Yeah.
So she immediately, within like one interaction, like knows what she looks like.
Knows how she talks.
Steals her uniform and knows how she talks. Because in a few minutes, basically, she needs to go replicate that look and sound in her voice so she can, like, passively be here for 1 second.
Yeah.
And then she sneaks into the facility. And I thought all that was really good.
It almost doesn't work, but...
Yeah.
Because the other guy's like, well, what the hell are you doing? Like,
well, that was the fun part, too. Is that she doesn't, like, fully get away with it. Like, she gets a little bit lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. The procedure begins and David begins... Wow. The procedure begins and David is shot with isotopes. When Jasmine, disguised as Betty, the security guard... what?
So I think what you meant to say was when disguised as a security guard, she comes in to start ransacking the place, basically. Because she starts going for those files, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the hell are you doing in here? Like, get out.
Right. Yasmin, disguised as Betty the security guard, sneaks in, and Dr. Pratt stops the procedure to get her out. So he has to, like, stop, like, mid-stream or whatever, and so this doesn't... They basically don't get to cure David. So he can, like, get Betty to safety, so he thinks. Then it turns out to be Yasmin or whatever.
Yeah.
Yasmin knocks Dr. Pratt over and accidentally starts a fire, which triggers a Hulk transformation. Hulk approaches Yasmin, but instead of fighting, saves Dr. Pratt. The facility alarms go off, and the entire militarized security appears to fight Hulk. Hulk drops Dr. Pratt somewhere safe and escapes the compound without hurting anyone.
So how hard did she, like, push him? Because he, like, went flying... He knocked shit over, a fire started, and then, like, he's in a coma?
I think he tripped, though. The coma is a little hard to believe.
Because she just went, like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, you see, the plot demands.
He fucking, like, went flying back.
And then, well, I think he knocks over the chemicals and then he slips on them or something like that.
I don't know.
And then they light on
There's
fire.
no, like, she kind of, like, lightly shoved him. He went flying. He fell down. A fire started, and he's in a coma.
I just like the part where Hulk is like chasing all the guards up the stairs. It was a little Scooby-Doo, you know?
Yeah. I like that Hulk wasn't like rampaging this time around. He was actually, you know, being a hero.
Well, he's done this in the other ones too, where if he sees someone in danger, he will help them. Like his like
But then he'll start like
Yeah, like
smashing.
Right, yeah. But like his base like ethics and morality kick in. And so like he sees an innocent person, he's not going to want to hurt them. He sees someone in trouble, he's still going to save them.
Which is very unlike normal iterations of the Hulk that we see.
I mean, I guess sometimes.
Like, usually.
In the MCU, he can be talked down a little bit.
Yeah, but they had to make like a whole system for it and
yeah.
stuff. And it always has to be like a pretty girl.
Yeah, he's got to get seduced. Yeah.
You see me and run away. What? Oh, you see Birdo. Runs away.
Amy visits her husband, Dr. Pratt, who is now hospitalized and in a coma. The FBI question Amy about security footage of David sneaking into the lab earlier in the movie. They've discovered that he has a fake alias and has been posing as a janitor and assumes he's involved with Yasmin as a spy. Amy goes home where she is harboring David. Meanwhile, Yasmin's boss is furious that she did not steal all the information required and does not believe her stories about a monster breaking in. Under threat of torture, Yasmin agrees to find the only other person at the lab she saw, David.
Whoa.
I like the... Again, these movies are pretty smart. I think they're pretty well written. And I like the twists and turns. Just throughout the film, you don't see where the plot's going. Even though...
And the people aren't like... Usually in like stuff like this, they'll make the characters dumb because the plot demands it. These characters are actually... They're all pretty intelligent.
They're all smart.
Except for the security guard. He kind of dumb.
Oh, yeah.
But even he like caught on. He's like, wait, that's not Betty.
Or he's like, well, why would she be going in that direction?
If I just talked to her. Yeah.
And he's like, you got there pretty quick, didn't you?
Yeah. So even he was like, not a total moron.
Also, she does the whole Black Widow. Doesn't she do the leg thing? She does a similar leg thing on Betty.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, like, she, like, jumps on her, like, takes her down,
then, like, puts, like, I guess chloroform on her. She's like, don't worry, you'll wake up in, like, an hour.
She's straight up Black Widow.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, her breaking in, I thought was pretty clever. But David quietly escapes the Pratt home, which is under surveillance, but he's cornered when two trucks shine lights on him and chase him through a field. David tries hiding in a convenience store, but he's cornered by Yasmin and her spies. Now that David is captured, the Russians turn on Yasmin and shoot her, but she survives and shoots back. Most spies get away. Most spies escape, but one lies dying. One lay dying. Yep. Most spies escape, but one lay dying. I always forget the grammatically correct
way to say
lay
that.
and lie. If you lie down, you lie yourself down, you lay something else down. But the past tense of lie is lay. And the past tense of lay is lay.
English.
Yeah. So he lay down, dying, not lays. Anyway. Yasmin asks if they'll try to kill her hostage sister too, but the spy thug reveals that But as he's dying, the spy thug reveals that the big boss, codenamed Ashenko, is her sister. She took over the operation and posed for fake hostage photographs to blackmail her own sister, Yasmin.
That's fucked up.
What a twist!
Especially since she was already working for you. Like,
no, she wasn't.
Well,
So it's a little confusing.
She was, but she wasn't.
In the intro, I think when she's stealing the cassette tape,
she's doing that for her.
She's working for hire.
Oh.
But because when
they came and met with her, that's them like pulling her back
into like the Red Room program, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
They call it the Cause, and they're not explicitly Russian, but
they're definitely
clearly
Russian.
Yeah. And so the implication is that she's been gone for a while, because then remember when I think his name is Kasha or Kaza.
The guy that's yelling at her,
the middle management.
Yeah.
When he like assigns her job, he's like, 3 envelopes. I'm not going to give you this one first, because as soon as you learn your target, you're going to try to chameleon your way out of this, and you're going to run away. So let's show you the blackmail first. So yeah, and then he mentions that this is all for the cause and yada yada. So she's back. Is
back
what I'm
in
getting.
the game.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, it could be comparable to the red. Minus, like, the brainwashing. It's more like, we'll blackmail you instead.
Well, I think they are brainwashed, but, like, not, like, as to the same extent.
Yeah.
Because later on, I mean, she has conversations with all of them trying to, like, convince them that, like, this is all bullshit. And they've been lied to their whole lives or whatever.
They were brainwashed in a more traditional sense.
Right, yeah. You know, like...
Not the sci-fi
brainwashing. like mental abuse and propaganda.
Yeah. And, like, conditioning and all that. Not chemicals and stuff.
Right. David tries helping Yasmin's bullet wound. And she's astonished that he's not an operative himself. She's like, oh, yeah, who do you work for? They take refuge at a nearby safe house where David stitches her wound while she's naked. Convenient.
Hell yeah.
There is some gratuitous implied nudity.
Yeah, there's a lot of bare back.
A lot of bare back. Not enough butt.
No butt.
Yeah, exactly. It's a problem. Yasmin accuses David of being a super soldier monster made in the lab, comparing her to her sister, a monster who's changed.
Whoa.
David embraces her conveniently topless body and sets her down to rest. Later, David explains that he was not created by Dr. Pratt, but was being treated by him, and needs to turn himself in so that he can get close to him. Yasmin vows to use her skills to sneak David past security. Elsewhere, Yasmin's sister orders her to be killed, showing no mercy. Despite her knowing that Yasmin will still want to disappear and live a normal life. So I kind of did like that, like Kasha, that middle management guy.
Kasha, yeah.
He kind of has like a sense of, for a minute here, like reasonableness. He's like, hey, like, your sister wants no part of this. The job's over. She's just gonna go escape.
Right.
Like, can't you just like leave her be? And she's like, nah, we gotta kill her. And that's an order.
She knows too much, I guess.
Yeah. I thought it made her a pretty good villain, though. Because she's, again, they're like kind of the same character, only like
she's like the dark reflection of
Yasmin. I keep wanting to call her like Natasha. Yeah, Yasmin like has learned empathy and love and these things that have made her want to like, I have at least woken her up to like the lies of the cause.
Right.
But her sister clearly hasn't.
Her sister sucks.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it in Keep or Cancel, but the Yasmin actress, this is why there's so much gratuitous implied nudity. She was a Miss America.
Oh.
She's a pageant star. And then she used her pageant money to become an actress because her real goal was to be an actor.
Interesting.
And so she used her winnings to go to school.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good for her. I've never heard of her, so I don't know how well her career went, but I guess we'll talk about it.
Yeah, she was in a fair few things. Together, Yasmin and David orchestrate a heist to get inside the hospital, posing as doctors. Amy plays along when she realizes what David is up to. David speaks to Dr. Pratt, still in his coma. He tries everything to wake him up, but it takes a reminder of his favorite high school prank to do it. As the FBI approaches, David and Yasmin escape in their own secondary disguises, but are followed by the spies and chased into a junkyard. Two dozers surround and begin to crush their car, which triggers another Hulk transformation. The Hulk punches the roof off the car, grabs both dozers by their buckets, and breaks them. I don't quite know what happens. He sort of just holds onto them in place until they stopped working. Hulk runs away as police arrive.
I liked the whole disguise thing is just so fun.
I completely agree. I love the direction that this one goes to differentiate itself from the other ones. And I mean, they all are different enough movies. And I quite like that, like, the Hulk series in general is always like, he goes to a new place. He's constantly on the run. He's constantly hiding. He meets new people. He solves an issue. There's always guest actors and stuff.
It's always like a problem of the week type thing. Yeah.
And it kind of keeps us from being stale. You know, there is no defined plot in any of these. It's just like whatever he goes and finds. So it's like you can watch all the episodes in whatever order. You can watch these movies in whatever order also. But because of that, they're all different from each other.
Except this one. This one should be last, I guess.
Oh, yeah, true. But yeah, they're all different. And this one's like a spy thriller. And I did not see that coming at all. The last one's supposed to be kind of like this, like, trial, corruption, lawyer, daredevil story, right?
Kingpin.
Yeah, and that kind of worked out too. But
It was like a crime.
Yeah.
Thriller.
Yeah. But when this starts getting super spy, I loved it. Yeah, the disguises are good. Later on, they do another skit to like
trick someone.
Yeah, and it's fantastic.
I like that one. I think that was my favorite little disguise bit. Was the one we're gonna talk about later.
But I mean, and they do it pretty smart too. She's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call like not a threat, but we're gonna say like, hey, someone's like coming out the window. That's gonna trigger them to like get busy with that. They're gonna call firefighters. That's our cue to sneak in as doctors. Like, we're gonna have secondary disguises so that when we're on our way out, they won't be looking for us. They'll be looking for someone else. All that stuff is pretty smart. It's good spy stuff.
Yeah.
David and Yasmin reunite at the cabin safe house and snuggle. They relate to each other, living double lives against their will, and start kissing.
Whoa.
The scene cuts to the pair having sex. And the next morning, Yasmin pleads for them to leave everything behind and run away together. David agrees, and Yasmin plans to use her skills to change their identities.
Whoa, this is like Age of Ultron.
It is. I was going to say, it's a straight up Age of Ultron, yeah. It is Hulk and Black Widow.
This works better than it did in there, I think, though.
Are you not? You don't like Hulk?
I'm not a fan of the Bruce Natasha thing. I thought it. The issue was there was like no setup for it. It was just like happening. It's like, oh, okay. I guess they're.
Where are you gonna put the setup?
I don't know.
In another movie in between.
That's the thing.
Movies?
I don't know. So it's like I guess they're a thing now, and it's like, oh, but I guess they're not anymore. And
I totally bought it. Well, they were never a thing.
No.
Like
they were almost a thing.
They just they only ever shared glances and flirted a little bit. And then, Ruffalo's Bruce Banner couldn't tell if that was special flirting or not,
Oh, yeah, Cap had to tell him.
Yeah. It's like, hey, buddy, like, get in there. But they, like, always had, like, again, it was just, like, this big missed opportunity. Like, they couldn't really ever be together.
I like the way it turned out. If they actually went, like, full romance arc with them, I don't think I would have liked it. I kind of like the whole, like...
Yeah, I like it.
Like, it didn't work out, and that's okay because that's life.
But I like that. I think it makes sense for those two characters. I don't know if it ever happened in the comics, but it makes sense for those two characters to have an attraction because of their similarities. Because they've both lived this life, like this double life that they hate. And they're just like, they kind of share in that pain together, and no one else really understands it. Right?
Yeah. What about Betty? What the fuck happened to Betty?
Yeah, fuck Betty.
We'll see her in Captain America, I guess. She's gonna be in it.
Is she coming back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Liv Tyler's back.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder if
Ford, yeah.
Is Mark Ruffalo in the movie?
That'd be funny. He could be, for all we know.
Is Edward Norton in the
movie? So, what was I gonna say? Oh, and this works for the same exact reason. And I'm like, again, how much of that is a coincidence? How much did Joss Whedon see this and go, oh, actually, you know what? This makes sense for these two characters.
Well, having watched all these movies, I can see that a lot of the Ed Norton movie is like directly inspired by these.
Yeah. Like
the show, the movies, like all of it. Like, I feel like, and I know Edward Norton also had a lot of creative control on that movie.
Creative overhaul.
Yeah. I think he was a big fan of this series.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, didn't they put the music in or something? There's a music.
The music is in it.
Yeah.
The
Dun, dun, Lonely
dun,
Man
dun.
theme.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so they're fucking now. Oh, yeah. But I guess in this, Hulk can have sex. And in other versions, he can't.
Yeah. Edward Norton Hulk can't.
Yeah. Neither can Ruffalo. Do the math.
Or
I
can
literally
he?
Can't. I think he can as the Hulk.
Well, yeah, he has a son.
True.
Who
yeah.
Who'd he fuck?
That's a good question, actually. Well, someone in like
someone on Sakaar.
Sakaar, yeah. I almost said Qatar. I'm like, no, it's a real place.
That's where Transformers takes place.
Oh, true. Yeah. Dr. Pratt is discharged from the hospital in an ambulance. That part didn't make sense to me. Which starts to speed away which starts to speed away to get away from the FBI agents escorting them.
Yeah, getting discharged in an ambulance doesn't make sense.
I think they might have said something really quick, like, "Oh, we got to get him back to the lab."
In an ambulance?
So they do it in an ambulance. I don't know. The truck was. Sorry.
The truck was driven. The spies.
No, I know. I didn't have time to like double check all this.
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. I remember now. The ambulance is being driven by the spies who have taken them hostage. While at the cabin, Yasmin overhears on the radio that Dr. Pratt was kidnapped. She tries to hide the revelation at first, but can't. David tells Yasmin that he can't leave anymore. He has to help, but Yasmin can't stay and risk being found. The new couple realize they'll have to split up, hopefully just temporarily.
Whoa.
Turns out they don't, though, so...
Yeah, they don't split up at all.
Yeah, actually. So, fuck. In an airport hangar, Yasmin's sister questions Dr. Pratt as using a good cop tactic, guaranteeing their release if they cooperate with the bad guys. David uses a wig and mustache disguise to test drive a BMW. They come across Yasmin playing his wife, who questions the car salesman, who's actually one of her former spy partners. Wow.
Former pie partners.
I know. They threaten him and find out. To head.
Find out they should head? I don't know.
They threaten him and learn to head for the airfield after delivering the spy to the police station with the note telling the police to meat them there.
This is a disguise bit I liked.
Oh, this was so fun.
Because they're like playing characters,
yeah.
too.
And I love how
he's like, oh, there's the wife.
I love how quickly David's like, oh, I can do this. Like, he required no training, no setup. He's like, this is going to be great.
And also, that trunk did look very roomy.
Yeah. This seemed like a BMW.
I feel like you could easily fit two bodies in there easy.
Yeah. This was like a product placement. If it could be, you know. David and Yasmin sneak into the airfield hangar. Yasmin sets out to create a diversion, but is caught and finally faces her sister. She asks why Yasmin had forgotten their cause, and Yasmin tries reasoning with her. They leave Yasmin with the torture guy. So there's one guy who keeps on trying to torture Yasmin.
He keeps like grabbing her arms and pulling her.
But like, for whatever different reason, he can't actually successfully do it. Like either someone like, it's like a recurring bit. Someone comes in and stops him, or
he's like, I can't wait to torture you.
Yeah.
No, wait, don't.
He's like, no, he gets so frustrated. Or like she like beats him up, which she does a few times too. Anyway, they leave her with the torture guy, but she easily tricks him and frees herself. The police arrive. And you know what? That was a good bit. She like pretends to like bite on her tooth.
And he's like, what'd you take?
As in like
cyanide or something.
Cyanide, yeah. And he's like, no, fuck, I want to torture you. You can't die. But it was all made up. Like she just tricked him and beats him up. The police arrive as instructed and engage in a shootout with the spies. David uses the firefight as a distraction and saves Dr. Pratt and Amy while Yasmin runs away. Her sister is escaping by plane, but the pilot, the torturer, now wants revenge on Yasmin for making him look like an absolute bozo multiple times, and he wants to run her over. David sees this, transforms into the Hulk, and boards the plane as it's taking off.
This is where it starts going like insane.
I think this is fantastic. I think it's very clear-cut action. It is really doing the absolute most with its budget. It is pushing the boundaries. It makes you feel like you're in a better movie, so to speak. I very much enjoyed it. And it's always like upping the ante a little bit in a way that you don't see coming. Like throughout the movie, I've been surprised, and I'm like, I never know what's going to happen next. And that's a really good thing, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone watches as Hulk weighs the plane off balance. The torturer pilot shoots at the Hulk, but Hulk grabs a gun and aims it for the plane floor, and the plane explodes midair. Hulk falls out and drops to the ground in slow motion, destroying the runway tarmac as he crashes.
Him falling was like borderline comedic. You see like like it's just blackness, and you see Hulk's body just, and then the music starts playing.
It's supposed to be dramatic.
It's supposed to be. It didn't land for me though. I think I know I wasn't supposed to laugh, but I started laughing at this point. Oh
man. Yasmin arrives to watch him transform back. She begs David not to die, but he tells her he's finally free and dies. Cute Lonely Man song.
So why did this kill the Hulk?
Because he fell. I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay. I thought he was like borderline immortal.
Yeah, and
that was a plot point in this movie.
They do say that. Like literally they say like you're pretty much immortal, yeah.
And yeah, the movie ends here very abruptly, I feel like.
I would have liked it more maybe if he was never at full strength because of the isotope and that he was slowly getting cured. If they had introduced that
would have made more sense.
Each time that he does a Hulk
he's like weaker
episode,
or
he's
something.
A little bit weaker, yeah.
Maybe a little bit whiter and less green.
Sure, yeah. Maybe at one point it's literally Bill Bixby in green makeup instead of Lou Ferrigno.
See, that could be fun.
If they had done that way when he starts to fall, you're like, oh shit, like
he might not make it.
Yeah, he could die.
But no, like clearly he was still strong enough to like break the tarmac when he landed.
Yeah. Yeah. And like a scene ago, like he had stopped both of those dozers. Yeah.
Well, I also know that the plan was for them to make another movie, and it was supposed to be called like The Resurrection of the Incredible Hulk or something like that.
Yeah, it's clear that like, this was never intended to be the ending. Even
right.
Just
it's
from
just kind of how it ended up. Yeah.
It's not a situation where they're like, all right, we're gonna kill him here, and then we'll leave the door open in case. No, like they clearly had something else set up because there's no closure. The movie just ends here.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of that closure was supposed to come in another film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe like
I think there was a lot of factors involved though, because Bill Bixby died not too long after this, right?
He died like 3 years later.
Because he was already like sick at this point.
Oh, I don't know actually. We talked about this.
We talked about him.
Keep or Cancel once,
yeah.
But yeah. So I have it here from Wikipedia. Despite Hulk's death in the 1990 film, the filmmakers had intended from the start for him to return in The Revenge of the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
And so the same writer, they already had it written basically.
Mm-hmm.
It says here, as of July of 1990, a script was being written. The movie would have She-Hulk and Iron Man's cameo. So they wanted Iron Man for another movie, but She-Hulk they were just gonna like put in that, like they put her off basically.
Mm-hmm.
It had been reported that the fourth film would have featured the Hulk with Banner's mind,
Professor Hulk,
yeah. And that the project was canceled because of Bill Bixby's struggle with cancer. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. That sucks.
So the writer, though, has refuted both these claims as fan rumors, pointing out that Bixby's health had not yet begun to decline at the time the film was canceled. He said that the plot for the Revenge of the Incredible Hulk began with Banner being revived, but no longer able to change into the Hulk. Banner then begins to work for the government in order to prevent accidents like the one that turned him into the Hulk, but is captured by villains and coerced into turning their agents into Hulk-like beings. According to DePago, at the film's climax, Banner would be forced to recreate the accident that had transformed him into the Hulk in order to stop the villain's plans. The sequel was canceled because of the disappointing ratings for the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, so this movie didn't...
it didn't do well.
It didn't do well.
Yeah. Ratings-wise.
Yeah. So, like, not a lot of people watched. Which might explain why this movie's actually, like, kind of hard to find.
Did you ever... you know how they used to do this, the ratings?
The Nielsen ratings?
Yeah.
They still do them.
I don't know how. Because most things get streamed now.
I know.
So you can just
Nielsen ratings are outdated bullshit now.
You can just tell real time. But do you know how they would do Nielsen ratings?
No.
They would pick random families throughout different demographics and give them a box. It's called a Nielsen box. And so, because again, back in the day with cable or with radio wave, like over-the-air antenna TV, there was you didn't get feedback back. There wasn't a feedback loop.
Right.
So how would you know if people were tuning in or not? So certain people would get boxes and they would run statistics off that.
That's not a great way to do it either.
It's representative statistics. So it's the same as going out on the street and polling, basically.
Which is also not a great way to do it.
Well, yeah, there's a million ways of polling, and it's
randomly like finding strange. Like,
so here's the thing, though. Basically, advertisers and like would eventually be able to pick out which families were Nielsen families and pander to them, because if
Targeted ads.
yeah, but then, I'm talking. This is back in the day though. This is like in the 70s and 80s and
Right.
90s and stuff. So like they would know which ones based on like their viewing patterns, like again manually, not algorithms doing this, like manually, and like try to pander to these people specifically to get good fabricated ratings, basically. And that's how it used to work. Again, nowadays they have streaming numbers because you get a feedback loop. It's all
Right.
digital. But back
That's
in the
how
day,
we know
that's how.
nobody watched Skeleton Crew.
Is it doing that poorly?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Because I only hear good things.
It's reviewing great, but nobody's watching it.
Damn,
Yeah.
that sucks. I'm starting to be afraid of like Star Wars TV, because Star Wars TV has like the worst of it. Maybe Boba Fett, which is still fine in my opinion.
Right.
You know, I think all of it's been pretty good, and I've never been unhappy at Star Wars TV. But
it seems like everybody else is.
it seems like the loudest people on the internet are getting their way and convincing other people. Like we talked about this for Acolyte, and it seems like they're the ones actually influencing like the majority of audiences. People see the discourse.
People are like, "Oh, I guess it's not good."
Oh yeah, I don't want to get into
or
that.
I'll wait until it's all out and I'll binge it later.
Something like that. Yeah. And I fear for the future of Star Wars TV, because I want more. You know, I know there's talk about an Obi-Wan season 2, and
maybe.
Obviously Andor's coming back for season 2.
Andor's coming back, and
that's
Ahsoka's
it.
already confirmed for season 2.
Ahsoka's getting a season 2, yeah. But like, and we're getting the movie. But that's a movie though. It's different for
for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but season 4 is basically not getting made because of the movie.
Right.
So and for a while there, I thought they might do both, but apparently not. So I don't know, man. I'm scared.
I hate Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Thank you for ruining it for the rest of us. And we'll never know what happens in Acolyte.
Maybe they'll make a novel or something.
Something like that.
That seems to be the cheap way to finish stories.
God damn it. Anyway, that's the movie. We got off topic there for a minute. So overall thoughts, Berto, do you want to analyze a little bit story?
Sure. I did think out of all the movies, this one had like the slowest build up. It just the first half wasn't catching me. It really wasn't. When it like full on becomes like a spy thriller, then I become interested.
Yeah.
But that's not till like 45 minutes into the movie. So the first 45 minutes, I'm just like, oh, there's.
I don't know.
It's just science shit.
But it's first act stuff. You have to set up everything.
I know,
you know?
But it's like,
and I think I disagree with you 100%. This might be my favorite out of the 5.
Whoa, I think the Thor one might be my favorite.
No, I think this one's better. I think this one's better in like every way. This is my favorite of the 5. I think it's very well done, considering, again,
this one's probably the best written one.
It's 1990, you know, and I don't know what it is, but there's a bias in my brain, and probably in a lot of people, that like old means bad, and you expect old things to be bad, and then when they're good, you're like, oh yeah, people back then, you know, writers back then were just as competent as they are now. You know what I mean?
They were still writers.
Yeah, they still made good stuff, you know, like Shakespeare lived 500 years ago.
It's like, the technology might not have been there yet, but like the storytelling stuff still is. I do think story-wise is one of the stronger ones, but like it's just, I don't know, something about the way this movie's structured. Just it didn't gel with me at first. Like I said, like by the time we get halfway through, I'm on board, but it takes me a while.
I really enjoy it. Story-wise, I think this is the tightest story. I think it's smartest.
Minus the Hulk just kind of dying from a fall. That was a little weird.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that. I think the ending's a little bit weak.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked it more if it should have said to be continued or something.
Yeah, because knowing that that's not the intended like ending of everything makes more sense. But like just the fact that that's how it ends, Hulk's dead, I guess, and it's over. Like
there should have been at least one more scene, right? With like Yasmin and like
literally anything.
The Dr. Pratt and Amy, and they're doing something.
Like, Hulk fell off the plane. He's dead. Cut to black.
Yeah.
It's not a good ending, but
yeah. Maybe the secret comes out because it would have collected David's body, so they would have figured it out. Like,
right.
The police were there.
Yeah,
you
some
know?
sort of like ending. You know,
I'll give you that. Yeah, I don't like that part.
But
I think everything else is great.
I don't dislike the movie though.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed it. Yeah. It just took me a little bit longer to get into it.
Okay. Acting's good. I think all these actors are very talented.
I don't think any of the actors are
They're
bad.
all seasoned TV people. I kind of looked at them on Wikipedia, and this is back from the era where like you didn't just jump into movies. Sometimes you did, but for the most part,
there was
like,
TV actors and there was movie actors.
Yeah. And so, but these all these actors had a wide range of work and quote unquote filmography, TVography or whatever credits, right?
Yeah.
Even Elizabeth Grayson, who plays Yasmin, I thought she was really good for like not being like a regular actor. Like I mean, I guess she is at this point. We'll talk about her and keep her canceled. But like I thought she was fantastic. Bill Bixby is always good. All supporting cast were good. I was just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe my expectations were too low because we haven't seen like an old movie like this in like 2 years. But like,
you were surprised.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, like this is really good. You know, again, like the effects and the costumes or whatever.
It's TV, and it was literally 1990.
Yeah, it's TV. What do you want? Yeah. You know. But that being said, there is a shot where they combine. There's like a transition shot where it's like I think it's Bill Bixby's eyes wearing a lot of green makeup.
Okay.
Because he's not quite the Hulk and he's not quite.
Oh, it's like
David,
right before
right?
he transforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked really good. Again, it all happens off screen.
I like how Hulk's eyes are like bright ass yellow.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, no, I like acting. I have no complaints about any of the acting. Music, besides the Lonely Man theme, nothing really sticks out.
I mean, there's music like nonstop.
I know, but none of it is memorable, really.
Yeah.
Except for the do 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 do.
When did you buy your MegaCon tickets? Like while we were talking?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I can do things really quickly.
So we were sitting here talking, or we're like during the bathroom break, or
huh?
Like what during the recording you bought these tickets?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that sneaky.
Wait, is Patrick Dempsey coming back?
To Scream? No.
So
Joel McHale is going to be playing Sydney's husband, which is confusing.
Oh. Did she marry Patrick Dempsey?
I thought she did at the end of Scream 3, but maybe not.
I don't remember. Oh, interesting.
Maybe they were just dating for a little bit and it just didn't work out.
Joel McHale, like, significantly younger than she is? Maybe not significantly.
Maybe not significantly. Maybe a few years.
Yeah. Huh. Anyway.
I think Joel McHale's like 40-something?
Oh, he has to be pushing 50 by now.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
You remember the Soup?
The Daily Soup?
Yeah. That show's funny.
You remember Community?
No, I've never seen. Yes, I remember Community. I really want to do a Community rewatch. Up until like, I don't know, like when it gets bad or whatever.
It only gets bad for one season. Because the season after that, it kind of gets back on track.
Really?
Yeah.
I stopped watching.
And they even make fun of the previous season too.
Huh. I stopped watching when Childish Gambino leaves.
Oh, there's still some good stuff after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I remember when he left, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm done watching.
Because I think there was like one like really like they changed like the writers and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And then I think Dan Harmon came back.
Well, it went like
when it went to Yahoo, they brought
it went to fucking Yahoo.
It got good again when it went to Yahoo.
Really?
Yeah. And they even make fun of like the previous season. They call it the year that the school had like a gas leak.
I need to watch
So that's why there was
yeah.
like weird shit happening and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other thoughts on this before we move on?
No, I mean, you want to talk about the costumes?
No. You know
it's
what
just
though?
clothing.
His little spy outfit was great. That little costume change. All the spy stuff.
The spy stuff was fun.
All her wigs.
Yeah.
And her little makeup bit, like she really does. She's got like the perfect look to just like blend into anyone.
She actually, I recently played the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign, which takes place in the 90s. Funny enough, and there's a character. She's kind of like this girl. She's like a spy. She has like really short hair, but she like puts on like wigs and stuff, and like makes herself look like a completely different person.
Oh,
and it reminded me of that.
Yeah, I feel like you need like a very specific. I don't want to call it bland, but like middle of the road. Like she's very beautiful, but like you need like a middle of the road look.
Like she doesn't have any features that stick out or anything. Yeah, which is exactly what you need.
She's right. Yeah, like like her nose isn't big, or she doesn't have any, freckles or anything. Her lips are normal
easily
size.
Passes different people.
She can, and like she puts on lipstick at one point, and she kind of looks like a different person.
Yeah,
because you can tell. Like I don't know anything about makeup, but you could tell the way she applied it made her lips look bigger.
Yeah.
She like did like a whole like swoop. Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about Elizabeth Grayson on Keep or Cancel. Now, this is not a person I knew anything about until today, but I figure we've already done Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Thor.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Kingpin, who's also
John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies. Yeah.
We didn't do the guy who played Daredevil, did we?
I don't think he had a lot of credits.
Oh, he was just kind of in a couple things.
Yeah.
He was good too.
I thought about it. He was fine. Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Elizabeth Grayson.
What?
They like changed her name around.
Oh.
Apparently her name. She was born Elizabeth Grace Ward, and now goes by Elizabeth Ward Grayson.
Whoa. You think she's related to Grant Ward?
She didn't marry anyone named Grayson, so like that's why I'm like. She just literally flipped her name.
That's weird.
And like changed it a little bit. It's like a pen name, I guess. Anyway, born 1961. In Arkansas. Important detail. We'll come back to that. She's from Arkansas.
Okay.
So she starts her career as a beauty pageant contestant. And wins the title of Miss Arkansas in 1981 and Miss America in 1982. So after her year-long work as Miss America, because when you win like a pageant like that, they give you work to do, like philanthropy stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to go on tour, take pictures, do charity work, do all this shit. And your life is gone for like a year or whatever. So anyway, after a year as Miss America, she returned. She enrolled in acting classes and relocated to California to pursue a film and television career.
Okay.
So something I like is that she took classes. Like she wanted to actually do it right is probably her lifetime goal. And she used beauty pageant as a means to an end. Right?
Good for her.
Very respectable. Grayson posed nude for Playboy's magazine May 1992 issue.
Right.
So she's also kind of, like a beauty icon for a minute, right? So acting... film debut in 3 for the Road with Charlie Sheen. Ooh.
Yikes.
She also starred in movies Marked for Death, opposite Steven Seagal. Also kind of Pass the Ammo with Tim Curry. Oh.
Huh.
Love Tim Curry.
I do like Tim Curry.
And the CBS feature 83 Hours Till Dawn with Peter Strauss and Robert Urich. Grayson starred in Lower Level and Discredited Assured with Michael York. On television, she appeared in Shelley Duvall's Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, wow.
The Sands of Time, and The Death of the Incredible Hulk. She also appeared in a starring role in the series Extreme, in and the series Renegade and Queen of Swords.
I haven't heard of any of those.
I know. Her best known acting role has been the reoccurring character Amanda, a 1,200-year-old immortal in the series Highlander and its spin-off Highlander of the Raven.
The movies or the show Highlander?
Highlander the series.
Okay.
Starring Duncan MacLeod.
Is that the more recent one?
Sorry, featuring Duncan MacLeod.
Is it MacLeod or MacLeod?
MacLeod, sorry. What? It's not. I don't know anything about Highlander, dude. It's MAC capital LEOD.
Well, it's not the movie because the movie stars Christopher Lambert, who played Raiden in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always thought he didn't look that old when he's wearing
He
that
wasn't.
wig.
He wasn't that old.
Because he's got that long white hair.
Yeah, but he looks very youthful.
He looks like 40 at the oldest. Yeah. No, this, I guess, I don't know. It's Highlander the series. Was it a spinoff? Was it unrelated?
I thought the Highlander series was like somewhat recent.
It's an alternate sequel to the 1986 feature film Highlander.
There can only be one.
Well, it features a storyline in which the protagonist, one blah 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 blah, Christopher Lambert, reprises his role as Connor in the pilot episode, which introduces the new protagonist Duncan, an immortal who was taken by the same clan.
This is an older Highlander show.
It's a show that I guess takes it in one direction, but then other movies take it in a different direction. Yeah.
Like the Terminator show.
So she had a recurring. Sure. She has a recurring role named Amanda. When I looked her up, it's Mick.
I think Philly's just saying things.
Yeah, he's just saying things. So when I looked it up, like it seems like that's what most people know her from, is from Highlander.
Yeah, Philly, you remember the Sarah Connor Chronicles? It was like one of the best Terminator things besides T2.
She did some voiceover work also for classic radio anthology Suspense, which airs on Sirius Radio. And in 2012, so recently, 12,
not really,
12 years ago, but
13 years ago.
Right, but it's not the 90s. You know what I mean? In the 80s. Grayson did a character voiceover in the Malaysian animated series War of the Worlds Goliath. Never.
Is that a sequel?
It's an animated TV show, and it has a Baldwin brother in it.
Which one?
Is this a Baldwin?
What's his name?
Hang on a second.
Is it Adam Baldwin? Because I don't think he's a Baldwin brother.
This is not a Baldwin. His name's Baldwin, but he's not. I don't think he has any relation with any other. This is Adam Baldwin.
He does a lot of nerd stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got a really good voice. I'm assuming he's a voice actor in that.
It's an animated thing. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket, a bunch of stuff.
I like him a lot, but he's not like a Baldwin.
Right. He just happens to be named Baldwin. Sorry, I was reading his
the less famous. Well, Philly, neither one of them. This is a different Baldwin. He was in Serenity / Firefly. I don't know if you saw that show / movie.
Sorry, I was looking at his criticisms, which he has been sometimes. Okay, so Baldwin.
Sometimes.
All right, Adam Baldwin has sometimes been credited with originating the hashtag Gamergate.
Oh no.
Yeah. So. Whoops. That didn't end well.
But he's sometimes been credited with it,
I guess. Well, I mean, he's clearly in that camp.
Yikes.
But I guess some people have traced it to him.
Whoops.
Anyway, we're not talking about him.
I
we're
still like
about
his work.
Elizabeth Grayson. So she's also done some light directing, producing, and writing. Indie stuff. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. She also made her directorial debut with a documentary short, The Damn Deal, about 3 young drag queens from Arkansas. Okay. Married, divorced, married, baby. All right, here's where it gets interesting. Are you ready for the twist ending?
Yeah.
She had an affair with Bill Clinton.
Whoa.
According to Grace, sometime in 1983, she had a one-night stand with future President Bill Clinton while he was the governor of Arkansas. She was married at the time, and so was he. So, yeah, the Bill Clinton.
Whoa.
Very Bill Clinton of him, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, that's not.
I'm not surprised by that part. I'm just surprised that I hadn't heard about this. And when I'm looking through, I was like, oh, has she done anything interesting? Oh, she fucked a president. Very interesting.
Neat.
Neat. In 1992, rumors swirled that Grayson had an affair with Clinton.
2 years after this movie?
Yes.
Maybe he saw the movie and he was
again,
like,
hold on. This happened years prior while she was like still a Miss Arkansas.
Whoa.
She wasn't out or a Miss America. One of the two. But again, she's from Arkansas and so are the Clintons.
She was just trying to become an actor,
I guess. Rumors swirled. I mean, he was the governor at the time. Rumors swirled that Grayson had an affair with Clinton. At first, she dismissed the claim as requested by Clinton's campaign manager. However, in the spring of 1998, so he's president. Yeah, he's president. Grayson recanted her 6-year-old denial and stated that she had a one-night stand with him in 1983. She stated, "What I did was wrong, and I feel very, very bad about it now. My behavior was inappropriate. That's just the bottom line." And it publicly apologized to Hillary Clinton. After her claim, hold on.
Oh, wow.
She was actually issued a subpoena to testify in court. This is like during the height of like the Clinton scandal, you know. She eluded the subpoena at one point, was able to avoid it because Highlander, the Raven, had begun filming outside of the United States. I guess there's some loopholes where guys
can't show up. Yeah. I gotta go film overseas.
A TV show, yeah. Anyway, that's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, look, I wasn't in the room. I don't necessarily blame anyone for a consensual affair. It's not fun, right? Like
it's both their fault, but
it's not savory. But hey, I mean, that's your mistake to fucking own up to, I guess.
And it seems like she did.
She did.
I don't know if Bill did.
Look, I have complex opinions on Bill Clinton, but
I'm not a big fan.
I'm a big fan of his presidency. Let me tell you that. Great president.
I was too young to even
it was
comprehend what was going on.
It was the last time the United States has had a surplus. Was during the Clinton industry. His economy is incredible.
What about that Bush economy?
Oh my god, his policies were legit some of the best in modern era. However, obviously he's probably also a pedophile.
Pedophile, big piece of shit.
Right.
Like, he's just not a good guy.
Yeah. Look, man, I would like the people who are presidents to also be good people, but sometimes you can't have it your way, right?
I feel like to be a world leader, you can't really be a good person.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, I don't really.
Maybe I'm just being kind of like cynical.
You may be. I mean,
I just don't feel like you can get to that position without
compromising a bit.
Yeah.
I think Obama was. This is very off topic.
He did some fucked up shit too.
Right. That's my point. I think You live long enough to see yourself become the villain in some ways.
Oh, Harvey Dent was right. Fuck.
Yeah, because it's like, at what point does Obama go from like being like this incredibly like wholesome, charismatic, smart guy, which he still is. Don't get me wrong. I do like him, to going to like committing possible war crimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like when you're president and the pressure of like making those decisions come down to you, like, I don't know if I would do it.
You have to compromise.
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't do it, you're probably going to get overruled and it's going to happen anyway.
Well, not technically if you're president, but like.
Presidents can be.
Not.
They can be vetoed to an extent.
Not in the army. They're the commander in chief.
Oh, for military. Yeah.
How the checks and balances work is that the legislative branch funds whatever they want to do, so they could actually like cut their funding. If the president says I want to go to war, he needs backup from Congress, and Congress can say no, we're not going to fund that war. Basically, right. Whether or not these things actually come to pass and use these checks and balances, let me tell you, right now the checks and balances aren't looking great. Just saying.
They're looking very one-sided.
So,
which is never good. Which isn't good for any presidency, I feel like.
But anyway, this girl fucked Clinton. Let's move on. Hey, keep or cancel. What do you say?
I mean,
this was a complicated one,
like
isn't it?
Just kind of like she's just living life to the fullest, I guess.
But like,
She came clean about it. She apologized, and if that's the worst thing she did,
I mean, I don't want to. So like, she's married. Like I know the answer.
It's fucked up.
If an important person came to me, I'm married. That's already decision made. I'm not. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was single, I don't know. Maybe I'd be like, oh,
that's a once in a lifetime
opportunity. Yeah, but it's like, what are you gonna do with that information? Tell people? Oh, I fucked the president. What is that gonna get you?
Nothing.
Exactly.
It's not gonna
get
you
what
anything.
Are you doing?
It'll get people like us talking about it and being like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Now, again, he wasn't president at the time, but still,
right. But like, he became president.
Yeah. Wow.
But no, but I also think maybe I'm thinking way too hard about this. It's not something that should be held over your head for the rest of your life.
That's true too.
Yeah.
You know, I find really interesting is the Monica Lewinsky thing because she
I feel like she got way more shit than he did.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Monica Lewinsky, like, you go back and I think there was a documentary made about her.
Like, they acted like it was all her fault.
Yeah. She got not only did she get blamed, like, she got like dragged through the mud hard.
Dude, he was the one in power.
That's what I'm saying. She was an intern. She was a kid, basically.
She had no power over him.
She was like in her 20s. It's like someone in power is basically like imposing their will on you, you know?
Right.
And I mean, even she claims like it's consensual, but even still, it's like there is still.
But like, how consensual is it really?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's like a level of influence where it's like your decision making is impaired, essentially.
Right.
Right. So it's like, but at the end of the day, we remember her as being the villain of the story,
which is kind of fucked up.
And it's so fucked, and it's really a kind of a way that it's an interesting kind of perspective on how America looks at their presidents and the people in charge, and also like women. Where it's like you see this relationship and you automatically blame her, and they called her horrible things. She couldn't get work forever, like kind of ruined her life until now she's like this, like she ended up being now she's a public speaker.
Right.
And she writes books and she does appearances and she does all
sure
these things.
The whole
she's really turned it around.
Probably helped out with that for her.
But holy shit, man. Like, again, so I'm not necessarily going to just go off and blame her. I think it's complicated, one, and number two, I'm not in the room with them when it happened. Like, I don't know.
No, we don't know the details. We just know it happened.
But also, I don't like taking this segment too seriously. So, like, cancel? Keep?
I'll keep.
Keep. Yeah, for sure. Keep. She was really good in this movie. And
that's all that actually matters. So,
and I appreciate how she went from like, I'm going to use beauty pageantry as a way to
she worked her
work
way up.
My way into the industry and become an actor.
Yeah, she didn't sleep her way into the industry. She worked her way into the industry.
No, the sleeping was on the side.
It was on the side. It was pleasure, not
Who
business.
knows if she got anything out of that?
She might not have.
Probably not, really.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, good for her. I guess.
Yeah. Philly. Philly says if someone came up to me and asked if I would fuck the president, my very next words would be, which president?
I mean, honestly, me too. Or a president of what?
Yeah. JFK is very handsome.
President of the HOA?
Most presidents are like super old men, though. So, like, JFK was young.
He was like one of the only young ones.
He was like...
he died young, too.
He was in his late 30s, yeah.
Yeah. Why did they kill him?
All right, I'm not getting into that. Into the Phantoms Umberto, Death of the Incredible Hulk.
No, I'm not putting this one in the Phantom Zone.
Okay.
Like, I know I was like a little slower to warm up to it, but I did overall like it, and I liked all of these Hulk movies overall.
Philly, I paraphrase, and that's the best you're gonna get out of me.
Philly, you didn't even type it right.
Yeah, exactly. If someone came T9 me and said they fucked the president, the very next I guess I put you in the situation, didn't I? Whatever. You're welcome. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I think this is my favorite out of the 5.
Yeah.
Ends strongly, except for that this movie itself doesn't end too strongly.
No, the ending's very weak.
Ending's weak, but the rest of it's a great time. It's very smart.
I overall really like this Hulk series.
Yeah,
I think
this is the Hulk Black Widow movie, and the Black Widow character was fantastic. Philly doesn't want to fuck the president. He wants to fuck the prime minister because he's Canadian.
Is it still Justin? What's his name?
No, well, I don't know. He's stepping down, but I think they have to elect a new one.
Don't you guys not like him or something?
I think they've soured on him quite a bit.
Does any country actually like their leader?
Mexico. She's got like a super high approval rating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
80% or something. Justin Trudeau, he's pretty handsome though, Philly.
Didn't Chandler Bing punch him in the face or something?
What?
Yeah, Matthew Perry made like apparently Matthew Perry bullied him when they were kids in school.
Matthew Perry's Canadian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He went to school with Justin Trudeau?
Yeah.
Canada's small.
And I guess he bullied him as a kid.
I forget that Canada's like not that big. Like it's huge, but like population wise, it's not that small. It's not that big. A lot of people used to like Justin Trudeau. I don't think his wife even likes him anymore. Oh my god. Justin Trudeau he like lived long enough to see himself.
He had a downfall, huh?
Yeah.
Because I feel like years ago people were like, "Oh, he's so great," and now all I see is how terrible he is.
I think once the blackface thing happened, it started going downhill.
That didn't do him any favors.
That's not gonna help, right? Anyway, yeah, I really enjoy this movie. Not in the Phantom Zone. This is the definition of go out, seek it, and watch it.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of like, not even the Hulk, but just like Marvel, I think there's something to enjoy about this. We talked about the whole series earlier, years ago. Listen to those episodes, but Bill Bixby and Kenneth Johnson did a really good job of taking this like this crazy superhero from comic books and kind of grounding him a little bit and making it digestible, not just for people in the late 70s and 80s, but like just anyone to watch. And they humanized them very well. It's all written very well. It's always fresh because they do something different every episode, every movie. All these movies have been very fun.
And like this whole series was huge in the pop culture in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Even up through the 90s, like people knew about this. Yeah. There's a reason why the Hulk was so popular for a time.
There's a reason why Hulk is the character that Marvel has tried the hardest to make, other than next to Spider-Man. Yeah. Right? It's Spider-Man and then Hulk. He's had the most movies attempted. It's the reason why Marvel can't get the rights back.
Universal's holding on to that shit tight. Yeah.
So like they could make a movie, but it has to go through Universal basically, so they've avoided that. Yeah. Apparently there was rumors that maybe they've already gotten the rights back. Who knows?
I feel like that would have been an announcement.
I remember reading something, but anyway, I think these are really good. Go watch them. If you're listening to this podcast, if you're a fan of us, you must, to some level, want to do this. So
yeah, you might have like some appreciation for like the older comic book stuff.
Yeah, and this is it's not bad because it's old. It's good because it's old. They have to try harder back then, I think.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
They definitely are not relying on special effects. So, this has been a great series. I'm glad we did it. And next movie, Berto, what are we doing after this?
This next one might be a step down, actually. It's the 2003. It's just called Hulk. It's called Hulk. By Ang Lee.
Ang Lee's Hulk, they call it.
That's usually what it's called. It's just called Ang Lee's Hulk.
2003, usually. Yeah. Ang Lee's like this. If you don't know, he's like this very like famous director. He usually has made really good movies, and this is before people exactly knew how to make a good comic book movie. And
right.
Here you got this kind of auteur trying his best.
It's very experimental. I'll give it that.
Yeah. And it's like, I think he just thinks about it too hard. He's like, oh, how do you, like, it's a comic book.
It's got to be a comic book movie.
Yeah. It's got to literally look like a comic book.
Which, there's some cool stuff and some bad stuff about it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's wild to me there's a rights issue between Marvel and Universal when both are owned by Disney.
Disney is not owned by Universal.
My friend, Universal is a huge movie studio.
Are you thinking of Fox?
I think you might be thinking Fox. Yeah, there's no rights issues with that because they just straight up bought.
They straight up Fox, bought up 20th Century Fox.
There was a 2-year waiting period, but that ended like 2 years ago.
That might have been longer than 2 years ago. They bought them in like 2019.
Oh shit. Anyway, so yeah, guys, that's it for us. By the way, Ang Lee's Hulk, that's got to be streaming somewhere, right?
I have the Steelbook.
You have a Steelbook of that?
Yeah, it's really cool.
When are you buying these things?
I don't know.
I
haven't bought one in a while, actually. I can send a picture of it when I get home.
All right, hold on a second. Let me type in Hulk.
This might be streaming somewhere. It's gonna be on some fucking weird.
It's not streaming anywhere. You can rent it on Apple TV or any other renting service, but it's not on a streamer.
Oh wow,
interesting. Not currently.
Yeah, this is the steelbook I have.
Oh, that's interesting. They made the steelbook a comic book too.
Yeah,
it's almost like a parody. It's like very meta. Wow,
it's very 2000s.
Yeah, it's not on Disney Plus, Philly. It's not.
Are you thinking of the Incredible Hulk?
You might be thinking of the Incredible Hulk. That
is on Disney Plus now. Actually,
is it right now? I think it comes.
It was at one point. Because
it belongs to Universal.
Yeah.
So.
Well, damn. Now I'm not sure.
So anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks to that piano dude for our musical intro. Make sure you leave a rating and review on Apple or Spotify, wherever you get this podcast. Please tell a friend, and thank you if you've told a friend. You can support the show. You can support the show on Patreon. So for like a little bit of money, you can help us out, and you can listen to some of our outtakes. You can watch our faces in our news segments. I'm gonna do a few extra things on there to kind of like make up for some of the time that we've taken off.
Lost time, yeah.
Yeah. But outtakes, and then Where's Mephisto, our second podcast. Berto, what is that?
Where's Mephisto is, like you said, our second podcast where we watch currently streaming television usually, and we ask the burning question: where's Mephisto? Like he's got to be somewhere, right? He's pulling the strings. He's manipulating events. That means the same thing.
Yeah, he's definitely spinning your wheels, dude. Yeah, he's definitely doing that. All that behind the scenes. We need to find where he is. We most recently did Agatha All Along,
where we got a name drop.
We did, yeah. So we're one step closer because he was mentioned in Agatha All Along. We did that episode with our friend Chris from the Assembly Required podcast. It was a really good time. We sat there and talked for about 5 hours.
It didn't feel like that long.
No, it was a good time. Yeah. He's a great guy to sit down and record a podcast with. He also is currently moving.
Oh shit!
And so we shared a lot of pain together in our in our respective moves. I moved further into Orlando, and he moved further out of Orlando.
Damn.
But we're actually closer now than we were before. We're only 30 minutes apart.
Oh, nice.
So maybe we'll have him back for another thing.
Well, he's got to catch up on Daredevil.
He does. He's only seen season 1.
And is he the one that needs to watch The Matrix?
Yes. Yeah. You know what I want to do really badly is
trick him into watching The Matrix.
Yes, and then trick him into recording a podcast about what it's like seeing The Matrix for the first time.
How are you gonna trick him into both of those?
I'm gonna be like, hey, I need you for a solid 8 hours. Just
how are you gonna trick him into watching The Matrix? Are you just gonna say it's a different movie?
I'm gonna be like, hey, come over for something, and then it's gonna be on.
Come over. We're going to watch the Gators game.
Like, sit down. Yeah. Well, no, because then, like, we'll miss out on that, though.
And then he might be genuinely upset.
Yeah, I'll be genuinely upset. It'll be a tainted experience. Anyway, Come over. You need to watch this cool sci-fi movie. I think The Matrix is, like, one of the best movies of our time. Like truly.
Maybe the first one. I haven't seen the sequel, so I can't speak on those.
Oh, yeah. I'm just talking about the first one. Okay. The sequels are fine. They're not as special.
Aren't they like a little bit of a drop in quality, though?
I mean, so...
I've seen them compared to anime a lot, like live-action anime.
Well, yeah, that's 100% what it is.
Oh, okay.
Like 100%. But the first one kind of is, too. Like, the first one's kind of a comic book.
The first one at least feels a little grounded, though.
Yeah.
As grounded as you can feel in that universe.
Fuck, I love those movies, man. The second and third one are like... They're just, the first one was just ambiguous enough that, like, it's one of those things where kind of like you imagine a certain thing in your head, and then someone has to actually, like, answer it. And in your head, you're like, ooh, what if this? What if that? What if this?
It's also very artistic.
And then someone is like, oh, no, this is the answer. And you're like, oh, I don't like that.
What's more fun
it's
to
never
watch,
going to be as good as how you imagine
The
it.
Matrix or Minority Report?
Oh, I like them both.
I like Minority Report.
Minority Report's a really good movie. Yeah.
That movie has like that's one of the sci-fi movies that has like a special place in my heart from when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah, just him running after the eyeballs.
It's a TV show. Did you ever watch a TV show?
I never watched a TV show.
It's like new. It came out like a few years ago.
I never watched it.
Yeah, me neither. Anyway, yeah, where's Mephisto? Next we'll probably do go do an episode on What If, do an episode on Skeleton Crew. Yeah. Maybe we do that next week.
Skeleton Crew's so good. Are you gonna watch Creature Commandos?
Eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually.
That's
lower
on pretty damn good too, honestly.
Yeah, no, I hear it's just lower on my priorities list.
Okay.
I'm also dying to see Sonic 3, but I don't know if it's in theaters anymore.
I think it's still. It's only been like a couple weeks.
Only movie I've seen in theaters recently is Nosferatu.
Actually,
it's pretty good.
Nosferatu's good.
Best Dracula movie ever for sure. Anyway, guys, that's on our Patreon. Go check it out. You can hang out with us on our Discord server. It's just linked below. We have fun chats all the time. All these episodes are streamed live on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/filmsfrompz. You can hang out with us. Who's been hanging out with us? Philly to the J has been here. RL Skill, Spider Nerd, Arculus.
RL.
Yeah, dude, we had a good time with all these people. So if you want to get a name drop, you want to talk to us while we record the episodes, you want to correct us or do research for us on the spot, come hang out with us. It's twitch.tv/filmsfrompz. You can find us on Instagrams from the Phantom Zone, Twitter filmsfrompz, TikTok filmsfrompz, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Goodbye. Okay, stop this recording.
All right.
Stop. I need to, you know what I needed to do actually is I need to get in the habit of saving the project first before we sit down and record.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I don't, wait. Audio.com. No. File. Save project. Computer.
Is there a way to leave yourself like a note that pops up every time you open the program or something?
Oh, that'd be super smart. Because remember that time like my computer just rebooted on its own?
In the middle of, yeah.
Yeah, it happened one more time at 2 a.m. I don't know if that's something I've got programmed somewhere.
You got to check on your Windows Update settings too.
That might be what it is. And so I lost that file. Like that, like I didn't save. But if I had saved it first, it would have auto-saved. But because it was just like
it had nothing to auto-save.
It was just raw. It was raw dogging it, you know? So like it had nothing.
It was just untitled project.
Yeah. So that just didn't get saved. So I got to get in the habit of saving it and then like record, save, record basically.
Yeah.
All right. Sonic, I don't want to watch Sonic 3 on Twitter.
It got taken down, Philly.
In a movie theater or in my house.
Also, it's a lot better with like good speakers and a good screen.
Yeah. I got my TV set up and now that I have the opportunity because I was limited before, I kind of want to lower it a little bit.
Did I tell you my theater was like screaming like it was like Avengers Endgame?
That's so funny.
I'm like, oh, I guess all the Sonic nerds are here right now. It was like the night it came out, so I guess that makes sense.
It's hilarious. All right. Gotta edit this tomorrow. All right. I think this is gonna be it for us. Philly, it's good talking to you though.
Yeah. And we gotta figure out when we're gonna record Hulk.
It sounds like she's listening to Interstellar out there. You hear that? But I'm looking at it. It's Pretty Little Liars.
It's very bassy. What's going on?
Oh, those are the clurbs.
Oh.